I am back, baby.
Mm-hmm.
I am back from the Dominican Republic.
Yep.
How you feel? Feel refreshed, relaxed?
No.
Oh.
I got in really late last night. Really?
This morning, actually.
Oh, yeah, this morning.
Yeah.
I got in this morning at right around, by the time I really could shut my eyes, about 3:30 a.m. I did it van style.
That is rough. And I want to talk to you about this because I saw some
Please.
pictures and everything. First, I want to remind everybody that Pirate Spot opens this weekend.
All right.
And if you want all the good stuff,
You want those bang bangs.
go early because Craig has been texting me some of the stuff that he's bought, and he bought, like, there's a fireworks shortage because supply and everything, obviously, but not for Pirate Spot.
Well, everybody took up the hobby during COVID. That's why you can't find fireworks anymore.
It's probably just like everything else. There's like, some supply breakdown. Anyway.
Well, just like the guitar I have on order for my birthday, I don't think I'll see that for the next 4 years because they're out of wood and all the guitars have been bought.
There's no wood. There's no employees. Something's happening.
Yeah, something's weird.
Something. No wood, no employees.
You know, it's funny. You mentioned no employees.
We're open, baby.
The San Juan Airport, no employees. We'll get to that, though. We'll get to that.
Okay.
That place is run by an iguana with a ninja sword that's taped to its claw.
It's good that they're opening this weekend because I saw a lot of people posting that they're going to be doing fireworks for Juneteenth this weekend.
Oh, really?
Cool.
Yeah.
Hey, fireworks for every holiday is what I say.
Anyway, Pirate Spot Fireworks locations in Longwood and Eustis. So Daniel went to the Dominican Republic. And
now let's not get crazy. I wasn't I wasn't a missionary in a village, and I wasn't going to live in the rainforest. I went to the Nickelodeon Resort, which is in a cluster of different resorts in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic.
So it's funny because I told my friends, I went down to Miami. I spent basically 6 days visiting family and friends. And every time they're like, oh, what's everybody doing? Where's Daniel? I'm like, Daniel's in Dominican Republic. He's like, and everybody's like, Dominican Republic, why did you go there?
I got a lot of hate I got a lot of hate. And I kind of
weird.
Well, let me rephrase. Not hate. I got
questions?
Questioning negative, that felt negative. Like people.
Well, it felt negative.
but there were some of them were for. Well, here I'll tell you, and then you'll understand that it is negative. People saying there is no reason why anyone should go to the Dominican Republic. I got those in a couple messages. They were from Dominicans though.
Okay,
so you see
understandable.
What I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, it's like
there's a difference of vacationing somewhere and living somewhere.
Of course, yeah. Like
Orlando's fun to vacation in.
If people tell me they're going down to Miami for a vacation, I'm like, what the hell? Why?
Yeah.
Like, there's so many better places. Why go down? But they're talking about South Beach. I'm like.
Expensive though.
Yeah. But I'm doing my best to not project into people's comments. You are correct.
But why they were asking at first, they were like, "Doesn't he hate flying?" Because everybody knows that.
I do hate flying,
and
that will not change.
And I think they know that it's hard to fly direct into Dominican Republic. You got to go through San Juan.
I didn't know that. Some major airlines.
Either.
Well, I think I think there are a lot of cities that will. Orlando just happens to not be one. Like we could have flown out of Fort Lauderdale straight. Miami was straight.
So you have to go a little further south.
Next time if we go again, which I'm open to because I really enjoyed the country. I mean, it's amazing. But I would definitely go to Jacksonville and fly out of there.
Then when I told them he flew down there to go into a Nickelodeon resort, their second question was, "Isn't there a Nickelodeon resort in Orlando?" And I'm
not anymore.
Not anymore.
Yeah, I know, and and I'm like, no, but also this place is awesome. He's got a pool in his room. And it's all inclusive style, but anyway,
I don't think people understand how big this resort is. I mean,
It's like a compound.
It's so big that walking it is not fun. That's how big it is. And you have to go on a golf cart.
Everybody I told that you were going to a Nickelodeon resort in Dominican Republic also never even heard of it. Like they were like,
I hadn't heard of it. My wife finds these things. Yeah, Andrea finds these things. This was a Black Friday deal 2019.
That's awesome.
Black Friday 2019 is when we purchased this trip.
So
I gotta start looking at vacation trips on Black Friday. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, I didn't know. I had no idea.
I didn't know it was either until my wife says, "Oh, we have to get slimed." It was included. I was like, "It was included."
Yeah.
That's an $80 value.
And So, and then they were like, "Does Nickelodeon own it?" And I'm like,
No.
I think it's branded.
It's a resort company called like Sedentari or something. You know, like there's this group,
Right.
and then
They
they own
partnered
like
with
6
Nickelodeon?
different resorts. They own all this land, right? And then they built like. What kind of resort do you want? Do you want the Team No Kids resort? Boom, we got
Yeah, I
you. You
want
want the
that
Team No Kids but older for your hubby? You know, you want the Jay Leno?
How dare you.
You know, with some shuffleboard.
retirement
They
home?
got that.
We fit right in,
if
by the
you
way.
I want the one with the BJ contest.
Excuse me?
Hold on.
I almost said B Jobs, but then I was like, that's
Hold on, that's the owner. That's the owner of MicroHard.
Anyway,
I'm B Jobs, owner of MicroHard
With
software.
your kids?
no,
Oh.
I'm just saying at the like Jamaica, the hedonism
You know what? Let's
style.
start saying that because it does sound worse. I was like, so
So-
my
Yeah,
wife's
it
giving me
does.
a B job last night.
Yeah.
That sounds terrible.
So you flew out last Friday, and you had to fly from Orlando into Puerto
Yeah.
Rico, and then you take a small plane from Puerto Rico to Dominican Republic. I was curious about this.
Okay, yeah, ask me.
When did Andrea tell you about the 2-plane system? Was it before? Did she tell you way earlier?
Oh, no, I knew we were taking 2 flights.
Okay.
I wasn't worried about that. And I knew, I am much better at flying now.
Yeah.
I am, but I still hate it.
Yeah.
I don't think that goes away.
Because I don't know if you did the math, and I'm sure you did, and I'll tell you this joke now because you're already back. But the flight from Orlando to Puerto Rico, fine. Then Puerto Rico to Dominican Republic, I imagine, is a smaller plane, island hopper.
It's not.
No?
No,
Like a
you would think
big-ass-
that.
Oh.
Yeah, so I did get nervous. Yeah, there was a butt-puckering moment of
I
time.
thought you were flying in the plane Indiana Jones
Well, I
flew in
actually
with
flew
chicken
it.
coops.
Yeah, I flew
Okay.
it. I flew the plane.
You
'cause the
throw the emergency.
Well, the pilot jumped out into a raft and then
Yeah.
went over a waterfall to find the emerald.
Yeah.
That's buried in the cave. No, it was just a little bit smaller. So if you have 3 seats aside, a 6-seater,
Yeah,
3
yeah.
seats aside, it was a 2-seat aside.
Okay.
Just a little bit smaller. Here's the thing that doesn't matter there, and here's why I didn't have a rub with it at all. The flight's 24 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like you don't even.
Well, that's
like,
why I thought it was your pontoon on the bottom. You were
I
landing
thought
water.
so too. I told that to Andrea, and she's like, no, it's a big plane because a lot of people want to go to this island. So, but the bad thing is that we kept getting delayed. So we had a 2-hour delay leaving Orlando, and we flew JetBlue, and shame on you, JetBlue, you're the worst. It's the worst.
It's not the worst.
It's
Have you been on
literally-
Frontier?
I would have almost taken Frontier because, in fact, Spirit, Frontier, all the budget airlines, they were at least running on time. Look, I would have taken an on-time flight to sit on a plastic seat. All of our flights,
especially if it's 24 minutes.
All except for one flight, which was the 24-minute one. The second day or the second time we had to take it, all of them were massively delayed, hours delayed.
I feel like
They didn't say why?
No.
JetBlue basically told everybody in their name they don't give a damn
No.
about their company. Or they're like, what should we call our airline company? Jet,
It's blue in the sky.
Yeah.
red, blue, what, green? What do you got? Blue? Okay, blue.
A jet in the sky. The sky's blue. Jet blue.
Yeah, no other thought put into it. That's JetBlue.
When we finally land in Punta Cana, and I've never done this. This sounds like something Tom has done before, but I've never done this. And you talk about like having a person with anxiety freak out. It was one of those scenarios where you land and then they have to call ahead and have them hold the connecting flight, and we have to run to the gate because JetBlue pushed that first flight so far back and screwed up so bad because their planning is terrible that when we got there, they're like, well, there's too many people. We can't let this plane go because half the people are on this other flight. We run, we get in there. People are sitting in our seats. There's people fighting. Nobody knows that they're not calling. They never called any boarding.
Oh.
I went with this particular airline so I could get on early and get off early because I knew not only am I a poor flyer, but I got a 5-year-old with me, right? So I'm like, let's just make it easy. We'll upgrade to the, it's like $70 more to get like the seats in the front. It doesn't matter apparently. JetBlue doesn't care. They just like, anybody sit wherever you want. We don't care what you pay.
free for all.
And I'm like, all right, this is fair. All right, this is good.
No.
They get on the plane. They're like, sit wherever you want. Who wants paper towels? We're gonna throw them to you right now.
It was very scary. But the one thing that did make it good is when we did land, we got there. The resort, immediately when we landed and got into the resort, It was great. The drive to the resort is one of those super scary. It's like all the vehicles in the Dominican Republic, the axles are in different areas of the car. So the front axle's on the right side of the car and the back axle's on the left, and it has a death wobble at about 78 miles an hour where it rattles to the point where you think it's going to split in half, spilling your family onto a Dominican dirt road. That happened like close to multiple times while 75 to 90 men with tomatoes on either side of their motorbike zip by you at 110 miles per hour.
Yep.
So that's pretty fun.
All like Caribbean countries, they have weirdo cars that you've never seen before. You're
with
like
weird names.
They make a Volkswagen bus dually. With diesel. They make a VW dually Volkswagen bus diesel with a hatchback. It's like a weirdo.
We got into like one of those vans. You seen that those cleaning vans called like the company's called hangers, which always makes me laugh because it makes me think of turds on the back of a dog's butt.
Yeah.
But that they're high, so you can go in and get the clothes out and I guess deliver the clothes to people.
Yeah.
I think it's for like uniform delivery or something. We were like in one of those, and everything like has like little signs that like this is your Wi-Fi password. He had a Wi-Fi puck. There's little bottles of water. Everything has been like taped, so you can't touch it. COVID, like everything is covered in plastic.
Okay.
We're rocketing down the road like the axles are shaking crazy. It's pretty
Seatbelts or no?
I mean, yes, but let me tell you. Let me ask you: would Crystal have been okay with a limited seatbelt scenario where I'm just putting a lap belt on her as if my daughter were riding the Scrambler in Volusia County?
Oh yeah. Once you get into the Caribbean, other countries, it just
it was
you put a seatbelt.
Enter at your own risk.
Yeah, it was a
there's no car seat scenario. Yeah.
No, they're like put the baby in the center, so when fly out the window.
Yeah.
It was.
That sounded Russian.
Yeah, I know. I'm tired, Sam.
So
I'm so tired. All you're getting is Russian today.
Okay.
So you take
the R in DR is Russian.
You take the passenger bus from the airport over to your resort.
Yeah.
Then you told me and you showed me some pictures. This place is gigantic.
It's huge.
Right?
It's the biggest resort I've been on property because it's so many resorts. It's almost like it almost looks like as big as like Universal Studios. Like it's humongous. And when we pull in, we immediately check into our room. They do the fancy thing where you get the orange wristband, kind of like Disney, and that's your key.
Yeah.
So we go up to our room, and Andrea, again, Black Friday deals. Don't sleep on them, especially Sam. I know you like it. In our room, on the balcony, was a crystal clear, pristine little lap pool, like just soak your ass pool.
Was it on, like, from the picture you showed me, it looked like it went from the balcony into your room.
Yeah.
So it's like half in the room, half outside?
Kind of. They didn't want the water, I think, would be sort of a problem for, like, littles. If you had, like, a little baby in there, it could fall in and die. So they had it kind of fixed so you could move another piece of glass in front of it, and then it's inside.
Oh, yeah.
You
like
can,
a pool gate.
Like a pool gate, but it's glass. It was really, like, quite fancy. And even the guy was like, oh, nobody uses these rooms. Like when Andrea is, I guess she had gotten it so far, I think it was 2019 for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
When we got the deal. But having a room with a pool in it is a game changer for anybody going. I don't care if you have kids, don't have kids. That is a game changer. Everyone should have a tiny pool in their home. It is. It can't be that expensive. I don't understand why. I should build one in my house.
Let me ask you, because when I saw the pool in the room, I was like, this is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Like but then I started, because I poo-poo on everything in my own head.
No,
and I hate fun.
Yeah.
Because I started thinking, well, if I had this in my room, like there's one of two things. One, I would constantly be telling the boys to get in the pool and play in it, and like even though they want to play in their Kindles or watch TV or like get in the pool. I didn't play.
Yeah.
And then two, like I was thinking, would I be in the pool in my room all the time, and then be like, screw going down to the actual resort pool.
Man, I was in that pool naked so much.
Okay.
I was a naked fish. I didn't.
Yeah.
Because
Because why else you got it?
It's my kid, and she didn't care. And I'm like, you want skinny dip and drink beers? And she's like, yeah. And we just put on some music, and we just sat in the pool. I sat in that pool so long.
What? Okay.
And the beers there's a mat. We'll get to it, but yeah, keep
Well,
going.
with the pool. Was the AC in the room cooling? What temperature was the pool? Was it heated?
It is cooler in the Dominican Republic than it could ever be here. It is like a perfect 82 degrees right on that balcony. And then if you want a little bit of cool, you can open up the 2 areas. And if you want just pure heat, you shut them. And then your blinds go all the way around. The entire room is just like a big piece of glass. Mm-hmm. It's odd. But the pool is really just on your balcony and up on the ledge. It's kind of hard to explain. I'll put some pictures up maybe on tomanddan.com so you guys can check it out. Definitely worth it.
Was it set up like a cruise in the fact that they did dining times and buffet times where you go and eat because it's all inclusive, right?
Yeah, it's all inclusive, and they have this dining village that you go into. So you walk into it, and then they got all the different restaurants kind of in a circle, and then they're all themed out. You had one that was the sugarcane house, and that was the main buffet style.
Did they have
breakfast.
Krabby Patties?
They did not,
Damn
which
it.
I wanted them to have. They did, though, have super dry hamburgers that taste the same of any resort hamburger you've had on any cruise.
Yeah.
The food was very much exactly like Carnival, Royal, any of that.
Yeah,
same
yeah.
food, probably the same exact, bought from the same companies and all of that. I wasn't going there for the food.
Right.
Yeah,
Maisie
yeah.
loved the food. So little kids love chicken
Yeah,
fingers that have been frozen for 25 years. They love them.
Yeah.
They
All
and the sodium.
inclusive stuff was they do it like cruises.
Yeah, it's made for children. This wasn't my dream vacation.
Of course, yeah.
This was more for just a great birthday trip.
So how many actual days were you morning to night at the resort?
Okay,
was it
well,
4?
It was 4. So we get there. The next day we wake up. That's my birthday. So
Yeah.
it's that's when you can look on TikTok or on our TikTok for Tom and Dan. And I was out there having a beer with May. We got in the pool again. That pool, I'm telling you, the way that your boys like to swim, though, I think it may have gone the other way. Because she never got out of that pool. It was just the best thing we'd ever purchased in forever. It's just I couldn't get her out of it.
The room one or
She'd
the
rather be in the room pool than the one,
Because it's a novelty, right?
She's and it was hers. It's I don't want to go play with these kids.
Right,
I have to-
stinky kids,
Yeah,
yeah.
she's an only child. He's I don't want to share my pool.
Did you ever feel like you're sitting in the hotel room and I got to get in this pool because it's here? That's what I would feel I need to use it.
Obligated,
Obligated, it's here. I got
You
the.
are a crazy person.
I'm saying something weird here, but no, I just kept getting in the pool because
I'm obligated to have fun.
because I wanted to be in the pool, but the problem is, the major problem with that pool has nothing to do with the pool. The major problem is that the beers, and I don't know why they do this. I don't know if this is a Latin thing. I'm just asking the question. This is me not knowing. This is ignorance. Why do Latin countries and Latin people seem to love those little asalito, tiny little beers?
I know that's a thing.
The little bitty beers are like a thing. And all the beers, when you go to I've been to parties before with Latin friends of mine, and they'll be in an ice chest, and you reach in there and you get a Corona, but it's a half-sized Corona or a tiny little Bud Light.
I know.
They're little tiny beers. They're 6-ounce beers. So I over the weekend I probably drank 400 6-ounce beers.
I know. My pop-up told me Latin people are cheap. That's why they
Why would you say that? Yeah, they love those tiny, coronitas. Yeah, the tiny little beers they don't have full-size beers there. So I would just keep getting minibar service, and I would just tell the guy to bring me up 12. Because they're little.
I think that's more of a.
It was like a can of V8.
That's all-inclusive resort.
Yeah, they don't want you to burn through.
Well,
or get drunk and run through, jump off the balcony.
Or just you have a party and there's a bunch of half beers left around, because, you know what I'm saying? Because someone got a full-size IPA and they drink 3 sips of it, and then you're like, oh, you're wasting the whole, So maybe it's one of those things they order a Bud Light, I'll give them a tiny azulito, and that just keep hammering them out.
Nobody at the resort. I mean, we basically had this
empty.
place what would have been awesome is if other listeners had been able to come with their kids and do a family event or something, because no one was there. No one was there. These people need they need people coming. They
Yeah.
need to be open, baby.
Do
They're
you
hurting.
Do you have to jump through any hoops because of COVID?
Yeah, it's a problem. Yeah,
Is that probably? I mean, because here, our resorts are packed, right? Like in
Oh, yeah.
Orlando.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
it's just easier here, I think, because, and I don't know this to be true. Again, this is more ignorance I'm gonna throw out there, and if anybody's Puerto Rican and can weigh in on this and tell me, I'm sure we probably have somebody in the chat room.
Well, international travel is a pain in the ass to
it
begin
is.
with.
Did you
But-
have to show your vaccination card?
No, we never had to do that. We did have to get a test on our way back, and then you have to get it 3 days prior, and then you got to get your email, and then you got to get your printout, and then you got to have that ready and sign it. And of course, Andrea had all that done the minute it was done, so that wasn't really hard. The problem is that everybody else isn't organized,
Right.
so that makes us go slower. Like when you're Andrea, you got global entry, you got all this stuff lined up. Everybody else is getting up there. Oh, COVID test? I didn't know. Bye-bye. They're holding up the line. Oh, what?
yeah,
I
yeah.
got to sign this? Oh, do you have an extra pen?
Yeah.
People like that are I'm just looking at them I'm...
Yeah.
how do you even live your life?
That's
Oh my
why
God.
the resort's empty, because no one can
get there.
The vans could not get it together enough to do any of that. They're 3 day prior COVID, all that.
Yeah, you
We're
got to have all your tests. You got to have all your paperwork ready to go. You got to have
I'm going to Daytona Beach, where the COVID test, it is COVID there.
Yeah, there is definitely some funny things that I witnessed on the day after my birthday. We went to a character breakfast. Most people know what those are around here because we have the theme parks. Character breakfast is where you take your kids and your family to breakfast, and then all the characters that they
Who'd
love
they have?
dance around. So they had Maisie's favorite two characters, which are Cosmo and Wanda from the Fairly Odd Parents were there.
Oh, yeah, you guys love that show.
My daughter loves a cartoon that was popular in 1992.
I don't even know that.
It's a great cartoon.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's definitely a great cartoon. They had that. Then they had Dora the Explorer and her pal Boots come out. He was pretty cool.
Okay.
Costumes are pretty awesome. And then they had SpongeBob SquarePants, complete in pajamas with a sleep mask, and Patrick Star was dancing around in a onesie with his butt hanging out. It was pretty awesome. It was pretty awesome.
Did they have any Dominican flair like SpongeBob?
No. I think
baseball bat.
yeah.
Wow.
Or SpongeBob was bleaching himself to be less yellow.
They're good at baseball over there, Sam. Ha.
I'm SpongeBob Sosa.
Did the days that you were there at the resort, were there any besides from hanging out on the pool, were there excursions? Hey, we'll
We
take
didn't
out
want
a
to do
boat.
any of
No.
that. We met some people that did it. We met a couple who did it. They took their son deep sea fishing. He went out there. He threw up 8 times because the
Yeah.
seas are really
Yeah.
deep sea fishing in the Dominican Republic is. Apparently these real Dominican men put this kid on a boat. They took him 40 miles out.
Jesus
They caught a
Christ.
marlin, but he barfed everywhere. He got one photo with it, and the kid looks miserable with the marlin.
Oh.
It's hilarious.
Oh, with the fact that he caught a marlin.
Well, that's what his dad said. His dad was
that's pretty amazing.
But his dad was they only let us take a picture. They immediately they took it. They're hacking its head off and fighting over the meat. It was wild. Things are a little different there, I will say.
Yeah.
I did witness the funniest thing of the trip. Just like cruises, and I'll try to be delicate here. I think resorts are favorited by bigger people. They love the resorts. And there was a very large man.
all you could eat, all you could drink.
Hell yeah.
Come on. And there was a very large man who looked exactly like a comedian, and you know him from Breaking Bad, Lavelle Crawford.
Uh-huh.
And now Lavelle's lost a lot of weight now,
Yeah.
so Lavelle looks good. This man, just think of 5 years ago, Lavelle Crawford.
Yeah.
And this man, apparently, the food at these type of places is extremely rich. And the toilets are smaller because I think Dominicans on the rule are slighter and maybe a little bit smaller than big fat slob Americans.
Uh-huh.
So this guy, we'll call him Lavelle, had gone into the bathroom, and he was a much bigger man. And when you're a much bigger man, you sweat a lot. And when you sweat a lot, your tank top sticks to you. And when you wear a giant white tank top that's sticking to your back sweat, and it sticks all the way down, and you've pulled it down to kind of hide your shape, maybe give you a little bit better silhouette, you don't realize that your extra long tee from Foot Locker has gone under your actual butt and is now in the exact place of your where your dude comes out.
Uh-huh.
And this man apparently had a real sodium-induced, I've had 5 dry hamburgers diarrhea, then pulled his shirt up, tucked everything in, and then went about his day with it on his back. And I have a picture of it on my phone because he was walking around getting pancakes, and I had to excuse myself and my daughter to go back to the room and get in the pool to hide from Doo-Doo Man.
Yeah, that's all. Like I always say about not that it's good that you have your pool in the room, but like the theme park pool, water parks, resort pools, you're bringing
lower level.
all the humanity from around the world, then you're feeding them full of probably foods extra sodium, fat.
Oh yeah,
and they're getting extra drunk.
I mean, they're eating chicken wings and beer for every
meal.
Yeah,
they're overeating horrible foods they may or may not be used to, and then there's a lot of
and they're pushing it on you too. They're like, "Beer, chico, chico."
All I'm saying is they're doo-doo everywhere. That's what happens.
That was bad. I'm trying to think.
So what were their days like as far as
what'd you do during the day?
Like, did you just go down to the pool?
We would get up. They have a really nice water park. You can go down to the water park, and they have probably the most the coolest splash pad that I've ever seen because there's so many little. That's not cool for COVID because everything is like a wheel that you touch. Everything is I'm joking, but I'm just saying.
You're not getting it off.
So you're out there. They got all kinds of hoses and buckets that
just
dump.
Things to play with.
Yeah, it's really good. Multiple. I mean, probably has 10 pools or something. I mean, pools for everybody. There are full blocks of rooms that share a pool. So your balcony would be next door to somebody, but then you have a really long pool that goes down about maybe 1,000 feet. Huge, like a wavy pool that you can swim in. They're crazy about the pools, the Nickelodeon Resort. They love the pools. So you'll like this one. So getting up early the next day to go to, where were we going this time? Oh, we're going to the party pool, the one that's on the beach. Beach covered in seaweed, much like a Florida beach, but not very nice. They had to get a bulldozer out there every morning and pull all the seaweed off. But when we were going to that pool, I got up early. And I'm sitting there, kind of slapping my cheeks and trying to wake up and maybe take more of the marijuana pills I'd smuggled into the country. And I was going number 2, and the entire ground starts moving. The whole building starts shaking.
Ah, yes.
Everything starts rolling, and I can only describe it as just an energy that you feel. And it was an earthquake that was.
Scare the crap out
I
of
was
you.
pooping there. It did not scare the crap out of me. It's weird. It did not scare the crap out of me, but it felt like nothing I've felt before. It definitely didn't feel like a sonic boom. It didn't feel like when your windows shake at your house or something. It didn't feel like that. It felt larger than life. It felt like it's the only time I felt something that I'm like, ooh.
What is that?
I'm not in control of that. That is really big.
Did it feel like you? I've always wondered what an earthquake would feel like. Did it feel like you were on a boat and it was
it felt like a cruise
or
ship.
moving
felt like a cruise ship.
Okay, because that was the only feeling I could come up with.
Because remember, I'm going
being
number
on
2.
A huge structure that's moving.
Yeah.
Is that I was like being in a house or a building that's moving, it would be like, oh, I'm kind of cruise somewhere.
So I'm sitting, in there doing my business, and it was like a wave. You could hear things start to
rattle. Oh, I'd be freaking out, dude.
And then the whole building's going because it's weird. It's hard to explain. It's like, it's one thing to have your windows rattle. Oh, that's the building. This wasn't the building. This was everything.
Yeah.
The whole, me.
The earth.
The toilet, the water, everything. And it just felt, it felt powerful. Like it felt like the hand of God. It was like, whoa.
I always forget that there's earthquakes down there.
Although
there was that major earthquake in Haiti
Right.
that was so devastated the entire country,
Which is right next door.
Yeah, so it's the same country. It's the same
island.
Yeah, same island. So split by some invisible
I would
BS.
be absolutely terrified if that happened.
How are people saying earthquake's the best in our Twitch chat room? They're not the best. It was.
What?
I'm not going to say it was scary because I didn't really
People
know
that are used to it,
what
they don't
was,
care.
Right. They
Yeah,
didn't.
it's like
Nobody
hurricanes
there.
to us,
Yeah, exactly. But I will say that I prefer hurricanes. After realizing when I came back to bed, I was like, whoa, is that? And Andrea's like, yeah. And then she looked it up. It was a 5.
Yeah.
It was no joke.
And after there are tsunami warnings, or does that happen down there?
No, they just hand you another 6-ounce beer.
Okay.
And then they're like, eat these chicken wings. They don't care.
Is that only in is that something like West Coast or Hawaii
Or maybe if
like
it's a certain size.
It's on a fault line from what I understand. And then I believe there were some active volcanoes there, but are no longer there. At least that's what my wife was telling me. But I was perpetually drunk for the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
So did they did like plates fall off everywhere? Are they cleaning stuff up there?
It wasn't
or
that.
was it bad?
Imagine it's the way I would explain it is imagine a massive force that you can feel, but it's completely spread out. So it's not doing any damage. It just feels like
The whole area is shaking,
Yes,
but
yeah.
it's slight.
it's not. Yeah, we weren't
Okay.
like rocking and rolling, things were falling. It was just like you could feel everything move, and you're like, oh, what is that? Yeah,
Crazy.
yeah. Sam, you would have not. In fact, I think I said that to Todd because I sent him the screenshot.
Especially with, like you're saying, that one that devastated Haiti. I'd be like, this is it.
And all
This
these
is how
people, though,
it
like,
goes down.
again, and I know Tom knows this, but people are like, well, Daniel, you must have been terrified. I'm like, guys, I'll say it again. Mine is planes. It's not earthquakes. I don't get to pick this stuff. Like, I wish it were earthquakes over planes. I'd fly better.
But also, I think it devastated Haiti because of there's no
Infrastructure.
codes there. Like
Yeah.
no all like is built like not up to any sort of earthquake code, and like because at the same time like
Yeah,
they
but
didn't have the same
when
problems
it's
at Dominican
happening,
Republic.
I would still have a panic attack.
Of course, yeah. Well,
That's what I would equate it to,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, this is it.
Yeah.
We got slimed. That was cool.
That was cool.
Yeah, that was included. The pictures are really, really funny. You can see those on my.
Hard to get off, or not really?
You know what? They think of everything, and they actually ended up doing it better from talking to other people that worked at Nickelodeon here in Orlando. Their slime mixture is like it's veggies. It's like
Did you eat it like Butler told you to do?
You can if you want to. It's completely I believe it's all like
I would assume it would have to be
it's
because
like
people have their mouth
thick
open.
vegetables.
Hold on, because I saw the slime pictures, and then I thought, if I worked
guy's
there,
no fun.
I'm just saying,
Oh, you just put a little white slime in there.
Yeah.
because I'll be like these rich MFers hate these people. My life is horrible. Little bit of pee-pee in this line. That's all I'm saying.
I saw the guy mixing
and
it up,
and it
though.
would make me feel better. Just like when me at Clear Channel, whatever. Like if I was the janitor at the Nickelodeon resort.
A little bit
Yeah.
of white slime.
Yeah. That's it. And then when I watch the Americans get slimed, I get a little benefit out of that every single time.
That
Like,
was super fun. We enjoyed that. But then they tell you, they're like, go swimming. You're allowed to get back in the pool and wash all your slime off because it's like it just dissipates. It's really weird. They know what they're doing. They got it all set up right. I'm trying to think of anything else. Really, the only thing that really happened that was bad was yesterday's day of travel getting home because, and I don't fully understand this, but when you go from Punta Cana back to Puerto Rico. And even if you have a connecting flight, they don't take your bags off the flight and put them on the plane for you. Like
Right.
every other connecting flight I've been on in 45 years of living, they make you get your bag and then they make you take it and check it in again.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you,
It's the worst.
that makes a very long day, man. And I don't. There were some signs that said it was an agricultural check.
Yeah.
And
Because it's international. I had that happen when I went to Turks
Yeah.
and Caicos.
it's just
well, they're going
weird.
from two different countries.
Yeah.
Then
No,
so you're coming back from the DR to Puerto Rico. You got to go through their international,
Yeah.
whatever the hell.
I
you
get
know,
it.
I'm
Just,
sure they
can't
have.
you have someone do that for me while I
Right?
drink a 6-ounce
Yeah,
beer?
I'm with you.
You know, I mean, like it just felt weird, and it slowed everything down because
There's no one yelling. If you give me $20, I'll do it for you. Because usually there's a lot of businesses
There was-
that are like.
Not quite the same as that, like at the cruises when you
Yeah.
get off.
San
well,
Juan's-
usually it's all like for $20, a lot can get done.
Punta Cana's airport is charming and small. San Juan's airport is ungodly terrible. That is the worst airport. The worst.
Yeah.
People, nothing was open, no drinks, no food, no one cared. It was like standing in an empty warehouse just waiting for your friend to pull his plane up, and then he'll wave at you when he's ready, and you get on and fly away. It was weird,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
It's so weird. And then, like, and there's no concept of, and I don't know if this is like a cultural thing or just like a I don't care thing, but it was like, like, oh, we're closing at 3:15. Well, why? As I feel I don't want to work anymore. Here's the door. It's like everything's closed. So I'm like, all right. I'm just trying to find a bag of chips for my daughter here.
When you were texting me that your flight was delayed yesterday, it
kept getting
was
delayed.
delayed like 3 hours or something like that.
Yeah, it ended up. Well, both flights got delayed. That's why. Shame on you, JetBlue, man. And your communication is terrible. The first flight, the little the skipper flight, the 24-minute, you're only in the air for 26 minutes or something. That was delayed for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then the other flight was delayed for another 3 hours.
God.
So we got pushed back. So that's why we got in at 3:30. Man, for a 6-year-old now, that is rough.
Yeah, how did Maisie handle it?
She did okay. Towards the end of the night, she started doing that thing that a lot of kids do, where she started going full Coney, like she wanted to rip all her clothes off and go punch the street and and freak out and like Martin Lawrence running through the streets, nude. Like she like just talking gibberish and like not making sense.
Yeah. Now, when I text you and you're like, man, it's delayed. I was supposed to fly out here 2 hours ago. I was like, man.
Ugh.
And all I could think was, well, at least you're sitting at the airport sports bar hammering booze.
No
like,
sense.
what I'm saying? When your flight gets delayed, for the most part, if you're stuck in Atlanta or wherever you're stuck, like, there's going to be a bar. And you could just go sit and wait for your flight, but at least you're getting drunk, right? And you're watching some baseball on TV. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it could be worse.
Sports Center.
You're in AC. You're getting drunk. You're watching baseball. Like life could be worse. But you said there's no bars open, and I was like, no bars.
It just doesn't if I could be like the prime minister of the entire Caribbean, because I was with you one time where we had a flight delayed and the bar shut down. Remember that? So we had to go there, and we'd order, we'll buy every beer you have, remember? And we brought it. I think it was our scuba diving. Yeah, it was our Bahamas trip.
Yeah.
I don't understand why these places want to shut down. There's literally nothing open. So I walked around a little, and we finally found this one little, a news bodega kind of a little shop. And he had 4 Coors Lights. I was like, I'll get all of them,
All for it.
Yeah,
and I bought all of them. Again, they were 9.5 ounces. They were like Slim Talls. Like, get your S together. They were they look like a
long Red Bull.
It was like a Red Bull with
Yeah.
a couple more inches. It's like what every woman wanted is but 9 ounces. I'm like, can I just get a regular beer or a big giant mega beer?
In the Caribbean, again, same thing with the cars.
Everything's a little off.
They'll put
What are you doing?
It's like the Mitch Hedberg joke. Do you have this in a glass harmonica? Everything's in a weird. You're like, I have nenever seen a Red Bull the size of a fat magic marker. Why
How do I
is it
open
so
this?
small?
Do I bite the top off? I don't know what to do.
And if the Red Bull cannon or the Bud Light is shaped like a coconut.
Yeah.
Round.
Hard to drink.
Why is it round?
It was very, very strange, but you're right. It was funny because you're like, oh man, and so I just had to sit there and play disc golf challenge on my phone for 4 hours.
So let me ask you this, because I think me and Daniel are switching roles.
You are,
because
yeah.
I was telling Chris.
Oh, we need to call my wife.
I was
we got
like,
a couple minutes left.
Maybe we could just save it.
We can talk to her tomorrow.
Maybe we can talk to her tomorrow. But because there was
AMT.
I won the trip because I didn't freak out, and I certainly didn't cry hysterically in an airport.
Oh no.
Well, because I was thinking about this on
Because
the
I
drive.
was too high to cry hysterically.
Too high to cry, baby.
Too high to cry. That's my new shirt.
I was like, Daniel, he's international traveling right now, and then he goes out he's at
He was out at Bull and
Yeah.
Bush
the
the other
Bull and
night.
Bush.
Yeah.
I'm seeing him hanging out with me. I'm like,
I'm dancing
I
around.
don't go nowhere.
You're a grumpy old man that looks at his plants all day.
I went to
yeah.
Wally's. I had some beers with Sabrina.
Yeah.
I give him a Daniel S all the time. I'm like, he never leaves a square mile of his house. But I'm like, wait
He's
a minute.
getting out there now.
I never leave. Daniel's out he's out everywhere. But
Yeah, but I also have Corona.
so
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
I
got
mean-
it. I can
That's
feel
fine.
it. I can feel it. If I didn't have it, I definitely have it now.
it's
That's
over now.
after the pandemic, Dan's been going crazy partying.
I know.
And you've become a recluse.
Yeah.
Well, you know something's wrong with this man. It's like a pool in the room. I don't trust it.
I feel like I'd have to get in it.
back
Jesus.
I don't want an obligation pool.
back to becoming Daniel, and this is the curmudgeon part of
Nobody
me.
should ever become that.
If I'm sitting in that San Juan airport
Yeah.
and my flight's delayed 3 hours, you said Andrea planned this whole thing. I could imagine. I'm putting myself in your shoes, right? If I'm sitting there, the kids are going coney crazy.
Yeah, she was going crazy.
No bars are open because you're on island time. Everybody's out of there at 9. You know what I'm saying? 8:30.
No, at 9. Are you crazy? They were shutting up shop at 3:45.
Yeah,
I'm not joking
yeah.
about that. It was like, oh, I'm sorry, we end early.
Yeah,
I
screw
was
that.
like, why?
Yeah.
I work till 5.
No
Not
one.
enough people.
Actually,
Yeah.
I don't. We work till 3. I'm not gonna lie.
Like no one lives in the Caribbean to work that hard.
No.
There's no work. Yeah.
And why would you? It's beautiful.
But-
and the weather's like it's way cooler there than it is here.
So I'm putting myself in your shoes, and I'm sitting in the airport, mad. No bars are open. I would turn to Crystal and be like, "There are resorts in Orlando."
You would not, dude. Your wife would kill
I mean,
you.
do we have to fly
Wow.
6 hours? We come from the resort capital of the GD goddamn world.
He put a double GD on that. He
yeah.
said GD, and he's
Got
like,
it.
nope,
Yeah.
gotta say that
Yeah.
for this one.
Yeah, it's not like we came from Russia. Like we came from Orlando.
Crimea.
There's 700 resorts, maybe top 5 in the world.
No, we have some of the
I
best
know.
in the world.
Did you think that or yell at all?
You know, I did think that.
But you
Can't
held your
control-
tongue.
She can't control the flights.
I know.
That is the only reason I held my tongue.
Yeah.
Is because
Yeah.
it was not her fault.
Right.
She didn't do anything wrong, but I think that's why she really got upset was because she was more worried about like what I was going to do, and I was like, look, this is fine. You know, we're almost home.
It
It's
is
just,
what it is, yeah.
Yeah, you can't do anything about it. But I really do have not to sound like a curmudgeon old pop, but I do have a problem with airlines not being held accountable for delays. And I understand that weather happens. I understand that like the toilets on our flight broke. That's why we were late. And I'm like, we're going to have to get a new plane. The toilets on the plane are broke. I'm like, oh, great. That guy that pooped his shirt is on the plane. He pooped up the toilet. No, they and then they go this. They go, oh, hold on. We just got to reset the entire electrical on the plane. I'm like, oh, the entire electrical for the toilet.
No.
Great. Then all the lights on the plane go
No.
and then back up. I'm like, well, I hope that did it.
Yeah, right?
Because they did the old unplug
Again,
plug again.
the
And
reboot.
guess what?
Again, I'd be
It
like,
worked.
hell no.
I'd
Get me
freak
the
out.
hell out of
It
here.
worked.
I'm dying on here.
They
For
worked.
sure.
Yeah.
This is a quote. We'll talk to my wife tomorrow.
They haven't serviced these things. I know. I've seen the mechanic. He was.
He
the
left
guy that
early.
He
pooped his
left
shirt.
at 6:30.
No, they,
I've seen the way things go on.
he unplugged it, brought it back online.
Oh, that's called the
Then-
Nintendo.
then he blew in the cartridge.
Yeah.
He yelled and then runs up the aisle and he goes, I fixed it.
Oh my
True story.
God.
True story.
Dude, something doesn't work. Turn it off. Turn it back on. It always
No.
works. It's just like an internet router.
We're out of time.
It sounds. Listen. I'm sure you had a.
You needed time off.
relaxing
Yeah.
time. Like that's a true vacation. Just nothing to do. You know what I'm saying? Like
it was fantastic. And there were times when the girls would just go to the beach and I would take all my clothes off and I would drink 14 6-ounce beers in the nude in my tiny pool.
Yeah. That's the way
It's
to
the
do it.
best. That's the way to live. Although the shadow of my body against the back wall in the Caribbean sun looks like a small patch of raspberries hanging out of the ugliest tree.
All right. I'm sure Daniel will have some uncensored stories on Mediocre Time.
Yeah,
That's our Friday
TomandDan.com.
show.
Yeah, TomandDan.com for the uncensored show.
All right. Bye-bye. Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha's here. Butler is here.
Back.
Wow.
Back.
We're all back from vacation.
But only for 2 days and
Yeah,
back on the
Yeah,
weekend.
yeah. Back to vacation.
But he's going to take 2 extra days. He's taking
Oh.
Monday, Tuesday off.
Yeah.
He needs
Long weekend.
No, it's
Oh.
personal health day.
Gotcha.
He's a little stressed out lately. Mental health quality is...
Well, we gave him 4 personal health, 16 mental health
yeah,
days.
mental.
Ooh.
Oh, it is mental. I think he's taking a
Okay.
mental.
I checked that off the list.
Yeah, he's taking a couple.
He's in charge of the list.
Yeah.
I think he's
So
lying.
it's
Yeah.
doctoral.
You know what, Butler?
He's going for a doctoral weekend.
Give yourself 2 extra personal days.
You've earned it.
Yeah.
You know what? You've earned it.
Yeah. You worked hard today.
Do you want to introduce our guests that are staring at us in the bottom right-hand corner of our feed that you can
Yes.
check out on Twitch, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live, or the replays are always on YouTube. Seems like everybody's going to a video component. Here we are.
Yep, with the best audio
Oh, yeah.
around.
Crispy.
Man, let me,
Crispy. Their audio is like a freshly fried potato chip.
Jason and Jan are here on the show with us. How you doing, guys?
We are awesome. How are you guys?
I'm Jana.
We're doing good. So let me ask you guys about your setup because we've had professional comedians call in the show.
Well, they don't care.
And they're on their laptop, which is
Or phone.
yeah.
Normally, it's a phone.
But if they do try to do a Zoom call, they're on the laptop using their Apple speaker which is the size of a pinhole, by the way. How can it be good?
It has lint in it and water. And
you know what? I'm extra mad now. They talk into a microphone for a living. Literally, all they do is hold a microphone up to their mouth as their job, so they understand the concept of having a microphone. And they call us with a pinhole microphone from their laptop.
Yeah.
And their connection doesn't work. They're screaming. It's overmodulated. They're promoting their show.
They don't care.
How could they not care?
They don't care.
How? They're doing it for themselves.
They don't care.
But how? I understand about not caring about us. Who cares about us? I wouldn't care about us. I'm calling in some show. Who cares? It's for them. For them!
I know.
For their own money!
And you're pointing at yourself.
Yeah,
Very confusing.
I know, but and
We
so
have a tech department, and his name is Camilo, and he's our 10-year-old neighbor.
hold on, you got a 10-year-old neighbor named Camilo
Yes.
that is
They're fixing
cheese dogs.
They're fixing their camera.
is your IT person.
Yeah, we give him cheese dogs and sweet tea. And he's
Cheese
like, what do you need?
Please, Mr. Jason, can I have another cheese dog?
All I'm saying is
You're not allowed to make that voice anymore, everybody. That was Tom.
That's right. That's
Jana and Jason, your setup you have, it's not $10 million, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not.
No.
It's not.
But you feel stupid if it was.
All I'm saying is that the comedians that call in the show that make, I'm gonna venture to guess,
35,000 a weekend.
some of them, yeah, like they'll at least
Between 15, 10, at least 10K, dude.
they'll make easily a 5-figure weekend, right? Let's just say that.
I think that's fair.
They can afford the same setup you guys have, right?
Oh, yeah.
This is Amazon Prime.
No, it's not.
Well, kind of. And
The thing is, this is the third setup.
and this is our foreign exchange bedroom. We told you that,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
this is
we
the
almost got in
bedroom.
trouble for that show because of all the eating of sea creatures, let's say.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Salmon.
Yeah, the salmon.
We're
Thank
such
you. The
naughty
salmon.
people.
Yeah, we got trouble with the salmon. We got an email about that.
Oh,
Guys, do you get
From the principal?
so? Let's start off with this because just the you have to try, right? I think a lot of people don't even get that to
No.
start off with. Like, there's a lot of trying first before anything.
Well, this could be overwhelming, though. Like, I think, now, dare I say that I know you're very spicy today, and I do not want to get into a physical altercation with you, but I'm going to throw something at you. I can see a scenario. I'm also talking to
Yes.
Jason and Jana because I want them to weigh in. And hopefully this doesn't hurt your feelings.
Yeah.
I can see a scenario where, much like any comedian that calls us from a hotel room, where they might be overwhelmed with technology, much like another man I know that I might be staring at right now, where they do get to a point where it's too hard to try because you feel too overwhelmed. It's too far gone. There's too much to learn. It's
Yes.
too hard.
Listen.
It's easier just to not do it and then just say, I can't do it.
I'm a pop-up. I don't understand technology. I constantly get Butler to turn my computer on.
All he
Like,
does is put micro penis
But-
screensavers on your computer.
Oh.
But these comedians aren't calling us from their hotel room like they need to set up a traveling setup. They're calling them. At least one of them was calling us from his house.
Yeah, his mansion.
Which he should have had. He's familiar with the process of calling radio shows and podcasts and promoting themselves or himself in the city he's going to be at. That's their entire. That's
Okay.
the way it's been done for
So
20 years.
Let me ask you guys this.
At least the last 18 months.
yeah.
Well, were you guys like, I mean, when you decided that you wanted to, start growing this brand, this, to be, in the influencer world, to spread positivity, to try and, globally make it bigger and bigger and start to spread this sort of positive vibe, did you think and write down, all right, we got to have a top-notch studio? Was that something on your list?
honestly, we just started trying. And that's the biggest thing is you just have to start. And
What?
it is scary.
It's too hard to
Hold
start.
on.
Don't
You're saying
start
you have to
nothing.
try a little bit? Like, I mean,
That is what he just said.
it's
so-
not even like you guys have like some, like the studio Eminem would be rapping in, like where it's like Dr. Dre's behind a board
Yeah.
that's 10,000 buttons long, and he's in a foam field.
It's not like that one board.
you got a
that
mic and a computer.
Yeah,
That's all you need.
The board that Dave Grohl purchased purchased, that like iconic the sound studio board that he bought and did a documentary about. Yeah, you just have a USB mic and a MacBook Pro. You're good.
That's what I'm saying. Some sort of some sort of box with some plugs in it that you got.
Yeah,
you
plug
get
box.
on
You need a
plug
plug box in a thing.
Some sort of booster, a level machine. You know what I'm saying?
We need a booster, a level machine, and one of those boxes with the wires in it.
Yeah. What am I mean, all of how much? $500?
Less than that.
I mean, maybe if you count your laptop, that's more. But
I can get you up and running for $250.
$250.
Where were you guys?
The way, seriously,
My God.
I feel like you guys
Slapping
are
his
a
legs.
wealth of knowledge. Not only a wealth of knowledge, but you're also like a little boost of self-confidence and a little cheerleader along the way. You could hold people's hands and say, hey, you can do it. So I kind of feel like you guys are a teacher, a class. You're an online.
I'm a teacher.
you
I'm a lover. I'm a
But Jana, here's
You
the
do a little
thing.
class for the comedians.
You guys,
I'm a bitch.
I don't want to hold anybody's hand. I want to yell at them. Why are you so stupid? That's all.
There's what I was waiting for.
I don't like. I didn't think. I want to yell. Just look it up. Pay
Coming
someone.
from the guy that never looks anything up.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying if I needed to, like if.
Did you
when
guys
I-
realize we were gonna tear our show apart in front of you today? Was that the
But
goal?
this is real. This is what happens. This is so you do all this education, you do all this training, but no one walks you through. And then you watch this little YouTube video of somebody going, "Oh, all you got to do is have a 13-inch cardboard box and put some foam in it and stick your face in there with a microphone. You're golden."
But the problem with that
we
YouTube
don't have any
video
boxes.
is you watch 4 hours of YouTube videos to find the one YouTube video that is the box that is your homemade sound
Yeah.
studio.
And that doesn't work.
And so I'm spending a lot of time getting to the nugget of information that I really needed. So if I could find somebody that could filter through all that crap for me, I would have paid a lot of money for that.
If they can get me down to $500 and would have saved me that $8,000, I would pay half that difference probably right
Oh my
in the
God!
middle. especially
You
to
guys
save me
set
a lot
up
of
as
time.
$8,000.
No.
Don't say that. That's more expensive than anything in this studio.
All I'm saying is, if I'm a comedian, I make $250,000 a year touring some city to city, and I have to promote myself. And now because of Corona, it's all through Zoom, and I'm calling all these radio shows and these podcasts, and my audio sounds like S. I would
have
just
to make an investment.
I would. Guess what? I'm a comedian. I know local comedians. Every local comedian has a podcast. A lot of them have really good setups. Like you guys, a lot of people in Orlando.
Yeah,
There's
we do. We have some really good and new.
25 people total.
Yeah.
It's literally has great audio. He's
He
in
bought-
front of his RV.
He
in
bought the correct microphones.
His studio is a PT Cruiser.
Yeah, you look at the Nah Dude guys like Pedro Lima
Yeah.
and Kermit. Those guys, they save their money. They spend it on good equipment.
If I would.
How smart is having a PT Cruiser as your audio?
Well, I mean, I will say that the
Because
level
the
of
acoustics-
asbestos within that really does dampen the nasalness that is Tuttle.
All I'm saying is I could easily get a podcaster and tell him I'll pay you $100 an hour to come to my house and set up the
I've
same
got-
rig you have, and like so that I have it in my corner so I can make my
I'm
Zoom
not
calls.
doing that. I'll pay you a podcaster $100. Come to my house, foot job.
Can you say that?
And they'd,
Yeah, you can say that.
they'd all do it, and you'd have the same setup that Jan and Jason have, which is it's perfect in studio quality audio.
But they're in separate. You
How?
don't realize they're in separate houses.
No, but I'm saying like, how do
Are
they?
you guys sitting beside each other? Like, can you
We
reach
are
out
right
and
next
touch
to
each
each
other?
other.
High five.
All right.
Oh, wow. I like that. That's good.
Is it they don't care? But
It
do they
is,
don't
yeah.
care about
It
themselves?
really is, yeah.
I think they care about themselves.
It's laziness on certain
It's
certain parts of your
laziness,
life.
and it's like, well, this isn't my job. My job is to go on stage. You know what I mean?
Now,
They
it
don't
was
want
an
to do that
extra
little bit
6
of
weeks to
effort
get
to
us
promote themselves.
together.
Yeah, it took
How?
Because I also think, they don't normally do it that way. They're usually in studio.
Yeah,
So they're
but
like, I'm not going to invest in all this audio crap when I'm
Yeah.
not going to be using it
and
a lot.
lug it around all
Yeah.
over the nation.
No, no.
But now I know they haven't
Okay,
been having
so
to do that. Go
You
ahead.
know what? I hate to be a devil's advocate here,
Yeah.
but I'm going to be.
Do it.
Because the way you're making it sound is that it's so easy. I was in radio for 12 years, and this was one of the biggest hurdles that kept me from putting myself out there again, was getting the right equipment, the right setup, and being able to to do it.
Yeah, because she wanted perfection. She's like, this is not perfect sound. This is not all this. And she's like calling engineers. It's like, all I need you is for 20 minutes to come over.
Foot job.
Figure out how to dial it in. Foot job.
Yeah, thank you.
Now wait though. Here's the thing. And so part of it is my own fault, but like Clubhouse right now on Clubhouse, I hold some really, I'm talking Oprah-esque conversations on Clubhouse where people are really pouring out some vulnerable heart stuff
Super
to
Soul
me.
Sunday.
And I think, you know what? If I recorded this and put this out on the airwaves somewhere on a podcast, this would be gold. However, every time I try to record my Clubhouse, I'm getting some sort of reverb or I'm getting some sort of echo or I can't quite hear. It's ruining the whole the experience of it.
No, I completely get, I think one of our chat room members hit the nail on the head. And I think it's a subconscious, passive thing that everybody probably does in their own day-to-day life. He said, Chigardi says, they don't even think about it when he's talking about these comedians. It's up to us to make them sound good. It's like, I'm calling in.
Right.
They'll do
That's
the thing.
their job, yeah.
And if you compartmentalize it a little bit more like that, but that is how you get lazy because you lose control of everything that you should have had an eye on, right?
Yeah. And so
man,
I'm not accepting that answer.
He doesn't like to accept a lot of answers.
Jana, a lot of this comes from, this is years of buildup that you're hearing. I don't want you to feel like this is just a pandemic
No, this
time.
is every day now.
No, but it's been a point where like
right.
we used to get phone calls, just cell phone calls. Like comedians are calling on a cell phone instead of using a landline, and then they drop out.
Right.
And we'd be talking to somebody like mega fan, like Barack Obama's on the line. And it just drops out, and we'd be like, how could you not think to get on the landline?
If they didn't need the promotion, I'll accept it. There's lots of things I'll accept. If they did it for a favor and they didn't need the promotion, they didn't need to sell tickets, then I'll
Let's
accept.
ask the next comedian.
Okay.
I'm going to ask them, but it's going to
I
insult
don't
them,
wanna
and
do
they're going to
that.
insult them.
That's going to be awkward. What have you
doing this
guys
for
been
me
up
or
to,
you?
Jana and Jason?
No. I'm like, why don't you have a set? And
We got to go to the source. We don't know. We got to ask them.
The Source, the rap magazine. I love that
And
magazine.
know.
Jana and Jason, I understand it is a lot of work, and like what you're saying is correct. You have to continue to work and learn, and this stuff. And you're not an engineer, an audio engineer. You have to learn all this stuff. I mean, you can throw money at it because I'll just continue to pay Tuttle $100 to come over and get my stuff working right until it works.
Oh,
you know
I
what
thought
I'm
he was
saying?
bringing you edibles still.
What is time?
I'm just
I'll give
saying.
him $100 to bring me a bag of homemade edibles.
I won't try to figure. I'll just throw money at it until it works. But if it's my livelihood,
Yeah, no, I know what you
and
mean.
it's how I make my money.
Because you're applying what I would do. Like, it would drive me, it does drive me crazy, but I've had to give it to God. Because I'm the tech side of what we do here. And when these guys call in and the whole thing goes to crap, and I realize that this guy's sitting in a mansion, but he's got dial-up internet, like that's happened before. You can look in the
talking about
background. Well, no, but you look in the background of this comedian we're talking to, and there's a Grecian statue, waterfall. It's like,
He got money.
Yeah, he's got money, but he's...
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do you not have good internet? Work on the internet first and then get the fountain.
Tuttle calls us. He don't got no money, and he
No,
sounds great.
he
That sounds like you don't even need money.
He
anyway,
doesn't. All right.
Sorry,
It's
guys.
hard to get a signal through the marble wall.
That's true. That is true. What have you guys been up to? What the hell's been going on?
Speaking of which, though, congratulations to you guys. We've been voting for you on Orlando Weekly.
Oh, we're not doing
and
that.
you-
We're not involved in that. We're not doing that anymore. Yeah.
Big
we're-
old scam.
Boy, we have enough of their fake plaques. We don't need any more.
Well, I'm not
We
joking.
only-
Send them to us.
Jack
I'll
Bradshaw has a plaque of ours, and it's just a piece of paper that Daniel wrote because he got
think
it
Butler
during
made that one.
Corona or something.
I
forgot.
don't want Jack's Corona plaque.
And we literally haven't even bothered to have it
No.
mailed to us or give it to
No.
us. I look up at the paper. I'm
Yeah.
like, just as good.
I hope.
Yeah, it's just a piece of paper.
I
just
hope.
just put up a fake one. Who cares?
I hope some sales guy at TKS is doing cocaine off of that plaque right now.
This is gonna make a lot of people mad. I'm just gonna say it.
He is so jealous of my vacation.
No. I am.
didn't get to relax.
I didn't get to sit by
He
no
didn't get
pool.
to relax.
They're going to grandma's house.
Grandma to grandma.
And then,
We always get to the root of what's bothering you with Jana, and Jana says 3 words the whole time. It's like
She's
the-
not your therapist,
She
though.
is the therapist.
I
Every
love it.
time
I
this.
will. I am a master life coach. Bring it on.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Jana, he
We need to
feels.
start paying you for these sessions.
Jana and Jason, he feels so comfortable with you. When he gets on the line, I feel he just starts opening up and just gushing and farting it all out.
I'm taking
Let's
apart
talk.
Crystal's grandma's shower faucet. She bought it's a
my
weird.
God.
It has two.
Doing home repairs? At
No, her grandma's got an OnlyFans, and that's how she makes her
Oh.
money. Yeah, you gotta have the
There was a
inflatable pool in the jacuzzi.
because nobody's been around for a while, so there's always home repairs. So immediately I'm taking apart shower faucets, and then I go fishing. No fish.
I can't.
Oh,
Corona
fish.
killed all the fish.
I don't know.
There used to be fish there.
Were
no
you
fish.
screaming at the fish? 'Cause that might have scared him.
And then
I
Crystal
can't
bought the
get-
wrong damn shrimp. Anyway, the whole thing.
Oh, you bought the
Tell
wrong.
me more.
And then, I spilled the shrimp. Anyway,
The wrong
You spilled
shrimp.
you spilled the
Yeah,
shrimp
if you'd bought
all
the
over.
right shrimp,
Sorry.
they would have stayed on the platter.
You spilled it
Wait,
on
we're
my
not supposed
shag
to talk
carpet.
about sea creatures. Remember,
That's
no
right.
semen.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
can't talk about that.
what were we talking
Or
about?
salmon.
Well, we were asking
No
them.
Asking them what they were doing.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
then
yeah,
you started
yeah.
talking about your
Oh,
grandma to
yeah,
grandma
yeah,
experience.
Sorry.
Somebody went on vacation. Daniel went on vacation.
I
And
did,
we-
yeah. I just got
Well,
back from Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. It was super
And
awesome.
it was your birthday.
My
Is that
birthday,
what it was?
my birthday, my daughter's birthday. We went to the Nickelodeon Resort. If you want to
Awesome.
hear about that, what ACT is that on?
It'll
Friday.
be Fridays.
Yeah, Friday's ACT, and then we're gonna talk a little bit about it on the Friday Free Show, just like some other things. But yeah, it was really, really fun. I needed a vacation. I did not have a grandma to grandma scenario.
So, tell us about Clubhouse because you've been on Clubhouse for a while
Admittedly, I have made fun of it because every time I turn it on, there's just some lady talking to me about like, you don't want to do that in your life, baby. You got to be bigger than that. It's not that deep, boo.
And we're pop-ups here. We just got into TikTok, and we're hot into TikTok.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm
Well,
watching that
I'm
a lot.
I'm riding that Snapchat train right now, and dipping my toe into the MySpace.
So, Clubhouse is like walking down a hallway of a convention center, and when you hear something that you want to get involved in, you just walk in the door. So if you're walking in those doors where you're getting those
Did
conversations,
someone
you
say
just leave
foot
quietly.
jobs?
How many times do we say that?
There you go. Just
And I
do the
walk
search.
in and I'm
Hold
looking
on.
around, all these people are into it with me, and I'm like, I don't feel weird here. I'm accepted.
I've never even gone into the Clubhouse platform, so you could kind
You
of...
don't even have an invite, dude.
Oh, you need an invite?
Yeah, you gotta have an
Oh, yeah,
invite.
you have an invite.
It's
All you gotta do
exclusive.
is, so you can go
It's
on
like
any
the
of,
Calamari
any
Kids
of our
Club.
social media platforms, and we offer 100 invites a day.
Yeah.
So
we
anybody
love.
can get an invite.
Yeah, I have 7, but I've been holding them. I don't want to give them out to you.
Well, I can't just go to clubhouse.net and go in
No.
there. And then,
No,
and
you go to fans only. and
Which
get
is
an
so
invite.
great because
do.
it's already a filtered audience, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you got to know somebody.
So can you
So,
once you
go
get
ahead.
if I get an invite from you guys, can I only go into your clubhouse or can I go to all the clubhouses?
No,
Once
you can
got a
go
ticket-
anywhere.
Yeah, once you got a ticket, you're in.
I was on a stage the other day and Tiffany Haddish pops up right next to me. And I look
Whoa.
over, I'm like, oh my gosh.
What you doing here?
Right. And I thought that she was going to steal the show because as soon as she hopped on stage, then the room filled with hundreds and hundreds of people. And just when she started talking, I thought, oh my gosh, like she is going to take the floor and everybody's going to listen to her. But then all of a sudden this guy comes in and he claimed he was from Mars and the room just went psh, and started listening to the guy who claimed he was from Mars.
So you,
And
Tiffany
was like,
Haddish,
"You
are
can't
sitting in a virtual room.
Hold on.
Now I'm mad at
Okay,
it.
no, hold on, guys. As the only one that's not mad here, and it could be my vacation vibes still kind of poofing off of me. I'm what do they call that? I'm degassing or off gassing. I'm off gassing my vacation vibes. You guys are both mad. Jana, just prepare yourself to see a true angry dad get real mad at his lack of understanding of technology.
Oh, no.
So you're in this platform and you're talking. I like that because I like.
Yes.
I'll
like
get
telling
into.
stories.
I'll just get into, and then I'm just telling you.
Plants with Tom and Tiffany Haddish.
I'll tell you about business. I'll ask you a long question.
So this guy, so it's you.
But then other stars can then steal your audience away. How does that work?
How do you-
So you're
So
just on a stage.
You're on a stage.
Like I was on the stage with
The guys from Shark Tank.
Yeah, Mr. Wonderful and Damon John. My second week in Clubhouse, and I'm going, this is nuts.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
they thought Jason was a shark. People started coming in the room and started asking Jason about their inventions, and Jason was like,
Yeah, they're like,
I will say that I watch.
"The hell is this thing?"
I watch Mr. Wonderful on QVC, and he is an excellent. He has excellent varietal of wines on QVC too.
He does, doesn't he? He
Yeah.
belongs to that avant, whatever it's called. It's like
Avant-garde.
it's a special wine
Yeah,
club.
it's a wine
There's
club.
only like 8 people in the world that are in this club.
Yeah, and it's you get some
The
hints
Illuminati.
of.
Hold on.
He'll always take a sip, and he'll go like, "This right here, this Diet Mountain Dew is exquisite." Oh, if you just taste that on the back of your palate, you get hints of green apple, a little bit of, you get some spice, you get a little bit of Dominican vanilla, you get a little bit of Puerto Rican sand flavor.
And if you hold it up to your ear, I think it came from the Mediterranean part of the world.
Not to steal a Michael Scott joke, but explain it to me like I'm a third grader.
All right. No,
I still don't understand.
that's not a joke. That's an actual thing you're saying.
So you're walking through elementary school, and you get to pick the teachers in the classroom that you just want to walk into. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to learn anything. You just go in and sit down. If you like the people that you're investing time in, you go in there. But if you like the conversation, you literally just raise your hand. You walk up to the front of the classroom, and you're there with however many other people have raised their hand, and you're talking, and you kind of bounce back and forth. So it's literally like a mastermind with 10, 15 people around the table, or you can set how many people you're going to be around the table if you're the actual moderator of the room.
Okay, I was going to ask about how many people can get on the stage at one time.
Yeah, so
There
you
can
can
be
have-
rooms of, we've been in rooms of, the most I've ever been in are about 500.
Yeah,
And
well,
those-
not on the stage though. There's usually like 20.
It's a lot of
up to
birds,
20.
man.
20, 25 on the
only let,
stage.
like 6 to 9 people, 6 or 9 people be moderators on the stage of ours.
Because you don't want everybody talking at one time.
Yeah, and we keep controls on that.
Do they
of who's
see you?
talking
Do they
when.
see your face?
They see your avatar,
They see a
whatever your
picture.
is.
So it's
Your
just
profile
so it
picture.
is
So it's
audio,
just audio
only.
only.
Oh, that's good for ugly people.
Yes. And you go into some of these, like they're silent rooms. Oh, those are so fun because you go into those rooms and immediately people want to start talking. And then when they realize that nobody else is talking, they realize this is a room for listening. Then they're like,
Yeah,
Listening to what?
that's the only fun part about it is the dummies that walk in there because they don't read the whole headline.
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't hear anything. Is the sound
I
working?
must be one of them silent rooms. This ain't no foot
Wait,
job.
what's the point of a silent room?
Yeah.
It's
Now-
basically to get
It's-
followers and to see who
And-
you want to follow and what their bios says.
but the listening rooms, those are for soulful rooms, people that want to hear other people's energies.
Oh,
And
God.
if you go in,
Oh man, me and Tom hate
That's
it.
You want to hear my chakras?
Yeah, like the water remembers the medicine. I don't know. I'm mad.
This room is called Silent Essential Oils.
But then there's trauma rooms. Those are sometimes interesting to go into because
Trauma
you-
rooms.
That's just my
Yes.
bedroom.
Gross. My God.
Or there's, I mean, seriously, if you think of any topic you want to learn about, if you want to learn about carrot carving, you could go into a room
That's in the
and
trauma
all of a sudden there's people on stage saying, "Oh yeah, I buy the carrots that are slightly green.
Yeah, those
And
are the best for-
I use only a knife that has this type of sharpening mechanism, and I can do rabbits and all sorts of
I use
creatures
an
with
old
my carrots."
Crenshaw pocket knife, and I only carve the green carrots or the purple ones that are from Peru. They're a little bit hardier and easier to carve faces into.
So I'm trying to wrap my mind around this. So essentially, like, okay, now we all know that if you want some information about anything, you could look it up.
Anything.
And but this is the same thing, but you're getting live interaction
Yes.
information with the people,
and you can connect with them.
Yes. So, like, there's all sorts of podcasters,
Actors,
all
directors,
sorts of actors, directors. There's people that are doing casting calls.
and it's across the
No,
world.
I know that.
So like,
Yeah.
There are people who are casting.
Yeah, you get on the
Testing
dance.
their pitches.
Am I on the stage yet? I would just like to lead in and say, please spread it. Oh, casting couch. Thank you.
You guys would kill on Clubhouse just because
Would we?
you have
Or
all
would
of
we
the sound
kill
effects
ourselves
and
on
everything.
Well, how do we make the monies? That's all I want to
we
I
know.
think
done-
it's just for
So-
networking.
Yeah.
What?
So here's the thing. On Clubhouse, just to moderate a room, you get paid or you
Oh.
can get paid.
Yeah, but it's only a
There's-
couple $1,000s an hour.
There's all sorts
a lot
of
of
ways
money.
that they are starting to make money on Clubhouse. And now everybody is starting to have their own Bitcoin. Like everybody is starting to have their own little cryptocurrency.
Oh, welcome to Tom and Dan's Chubb House on Clubhouse.
Yes.
The Chubb House.
And so-
Clubhouse, Clubhouse.
Chub coin.
Yeah. There is one. Did you see the news about the one Bitcoin?
Dogecoin?
Well, you may I can't
That's
say.
old news,
It's
Jason.
Doge. It's Doge, and the new one's called the C word for white P. It's called C Rocket Coin.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
okay,
nice.
yeah.
And I wanted to buy it so bad, and
I'll
Andrew
buy
said
it.
I was stupid. Yeah, I
Yeah.
wanted to put $1,000 into it just to say I owned $1,000 worth of Sea Rocket.
That's a lot of people just do it for
Yeah,
that.
I think
for a
that's
joke.
all you do it for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're like, my C coin turned into 2,000.
You know what? I figured out what NFTs
You
and
idiot.
Bitcoin. Bitcoin is literally just buying
doubled
like
in size.
it's like buying a deer's ass mounted at an antique store. You're only buying it so people come over and you're like, I bought that. It's a deer's ass and it's mounted.
That's how much money I make.
Do you remember that time when we almost bought a mounted fish? Do you remember that story?
Big ass fish.
Yeah.
Hold on.
That
Oh,
Was
what
it a
is-
Billy Bass? Because those are back in.
Are they?
Yeah,
this
they
was
actually.
like a taxidermied fish?
Yeah. We caught it.
It was a horse-eyed jack.
Yeah, it was a record horse-eyed jack, and we actually spent a record amount of time sunburnt and peeling with boiling skin.
Jason was passed out. You were passing out as you were trying to pull in this
And vomiting.
In
Passing
this
out,
fish.
vomiting.
Hold
And
on,
then
where
you
was
said-
this?
Y'all's vacation
It was
sounds
in the
terrible.
Keys. We were in the Keys.
And you started vomiting, and you go, "Here, Jana, take this."
Yeah.
Well,
It's sun-poisoned.
She wasn't buckled
it
in
was
or anything.
so heavy that it just flew me out
pulled
of
you out of your
my
chair?
chair. Yeah,
And then you're
next
water
thing you
skiing.
know, the captain comes over and he like grabs my feet, and I am holding on
foot
to
job.
Hold on. It was pulling you. Okay, I was just gonna when it
man.
comes to offshore fishing, you do have an advantage being in a wheelchair. Do they just put the
No, you have an
fishing?
advantage being in the chair, in the stationary, like a
Not
chair.
in a
that had-
wheelchair.
Well, I thought they
You're
put the rod.
Tom, it's like what
Put the
Tom is
rod in
saying is
between
like,
her legs.
if you are fishing, it is an advantage if you're on roller skates. It's like, no, it's not.
Well,
No,
you lock the wheels. Right? There's a wheel lock.
Horrible.
Pour Crisco all over the deck.
This is a hot take, Jana, and I'm sorry, but I know people in wheelchairs, and I've never seen one person in a wheelchair lock their wheels ever. I don't think you guys do it. I don't think you do it.
You push down the lever.
No,
right?
they never do that.
Not a professional.
You know, I took my brakes off literally
See?
the minute I got home from the hospital.
'Cause
That was
brakes-
the first thing I did.
Brakes on a wheelchair for pussies.
So,
Yeah, and so we literally this whole fish that we caught, it was a dangerous situation, but we ended up somehow.
Oh, we sent it off. I mean, we put the
Recouping this-
deposit down.
Yeah, and then we are like, oh my God, this will almost killed us. We should probably keep this.
Ma'am,
and
your
hang it in
horse-eyed
our
jack
house.
is in.
Well, the captain. So I guess when you catch something that big, the captain's always like, "Oh, that's a record. Let's weigh it. That's a record for down here. You need to get that
And
mounted."
we
That's,
got-
I can do that
we
for
ain't
you.
never
We
seen a
got
fish
so
like that before.
sunburned
Hold on,
that we
that's-
weren't able to move for 4 days. Do you remember that?
Yeah, it was like the second day of our vacation.
Like
I'm
we were
sorry.
supposed to, it was supposed to be a romantic
You should see the
getaway,
pictures. It was
and
horrible.
we literally laid in our hotel. We couldn't touch each other or anything. We were like, oh my God.
I hate boofing. I hate boofing when you're sunburned too, because your skin is that
Hot.
tight.
Yeah.
It's that.
Yeah, it was cracking.
Yeah,
The skin
yes.
was- so there were boils coming
Yeah,
up on my
yes.
shoulder, like the skin was literally boiling.
That's
Yes.
hot.
It is.
When I put on a shirt, it would ooze through.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
my God.
you gotta ask your
Oozing
wife to
through.
pop your
That's
sun
sexy.
blisters.
by the way, going back to
disgusting.
the captain telling you, "Oh, that's a record. You should get that mounted." Makes a lot of sense if he gets a kickback from the old taxidermy place.
Yeah,
of the year.
yeah.
Yeah, because old
This
captain.
old- This
He's
old
the
lady does
same
it.
person that calls and talks to me about my social security number.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like if Captain Tom was captaining that boat, any fish anybody caught is
Yeah.
a record, and they should get it mounted.
Everything's
because
mounted.
because that's expensive, right? Like, did you get it paid, like done?
We sent it off. So we paid the deposit, sent it off, and then we called up and said, we don't want that thing. There's nowhere
I know,
to put it.
because I came home and I'm like, it doesn't even work with our decor. Like it would
got a
just look
Spanish style?
stupid.
I gotta look up the horse-eyed jack.
It's just a big jack.
Is it horse-faced jack or horse-eyed jack?
Daniel, remember
Look up both. Just
I
to,
don't
just to be
remember.
sure.
Daniel, remember the fish we were catching when we went offshore that time with my buddy the wizard, and we were catching a bunch of jack, and we brought that.
Oh, okay.
yeah, so
this little guy here.
it kind of looks like.
Oh, it wasn't little.
Yeah,
That thing was big as a Volkswagen.
Let me see if I can put.
Yeah,
this
they
up
grow
for
gigantic.
everybody.
It was no giant grouper. I wanted a giant grouper. I wanted to jump in on top of it.
So
There's some jacks.
did they give you your deposit back, or they had to eat that? Right.
Oh no, you lose that.
Oh no, we
yeah.
lost it.
Yeah, they changed
Yeah.
their number once you
It
give
was
them
one
a
of
deposit.
those life
yeah.
lessons. We've had a lot of those life lessons, haven't we, honey?
Usually around beaches and water.
What's the most
Now, okay,
expensive
hold on.
fiscal mistake you have ever made?
The most no.
Now hold
Not
on.
doing
I want to
that. Oh,
ask
yeah,
you guys because I want to be as happy as you guys are married.
Yeah,
Well,
that sounded real.
no,
I want to be.
Like the way you said it was like a
you guys have a
child
marriage-
robot going.
I just want to be loved.
Like, what are you doing? Man?
I am kind of like a robot here. Like I'm trying to understand human
I
love.
just want to cry
Yeah.
one time to feel what feelings. My chest, it is burning. Is that love, master?
Because I'm trying to
Master
figure out
Reagan.
Jana and Jason's marriage here because
yeah.
they seemingly love each other. They work together. They do the show. They're happy all the time. I watch their show on Facebook.
I
and
like
they're-
their-
I'm like, wow, are they so
I
happy?
like your challenges and all the.
I'm
the
so
videos.
mad. And
Let me just tell you, this morning we had a come to Jesus moment outside while we were on our gratitude walk, and it was 4:30 a.m.
440-ish.
4:40 a.m.
Get it right.
There it is.
underneath a street lamp in the neighborhood, and we were supposed to be doing our mile run or whatever, and
Who are the crazies in your neighborhood?
I stopped. I'm like, no, we're gonna get this out now. And we literally
Take a seat, mister.
we butted heads and we let the zit pop. Every now and then you just have to let it pop
The
and you
sun-
have to get it out.
The sunburn
Tom
boil.
hates confrontation.
yeah, I like to
so-
push it all the way down.
Yeah,
like,
and then suffer.
I'm
That's
like-
why he's mad all
and
the
then
time.
every morning I'm like, this bitch is still asleep. But then I just push it down until I feel the pulse of anger on my
Whatever.
prostate.
Yeah.
It's all lumpy, hot anger.
Planting onions.
So you guys have to basically yell at each other every once in a while. That's good.
Every now and then, you know, we got it out, and I thought it was all good. And then we came in to do our live segment, which we have coffee every morning on Facebook with our little community. And Jason told a poop story, and I'm like, what, that, and then I'm like,
There you go. Serve you right.
we're real. We're real people.
Now,
That, you know,
so-
that's how it is.
All right,
I like poop stories.
let me examine
Yeah,
the.
but wives don't like it when you tell their poop story on.
Oh,
Exactly.
You told one of Jana's poop stories?
Yeah, see,
Man.
now it's not funny, right? It's not funny.
Yeah.
You got to get permission.
I mean,
at
only
least.
if you're McAfee.
So
Then it's real funny.
it's like he likes that.
Yeah, he's
What-
really into
what's
it.
good about that?
I don't know.
Like that, I can't get it.
You know why?
I'm
You know
like,
what's good about that? You can't buy that, but you can.
I don't want it, but that's something I don't want to buy. I'm like, on you. I can understand
What's
it.
the only
Not
thing I
yet.
can't buy?
If it's-
Bring me a hammock.
yeah, but to go like he wants it on him.
Yes.
That's what I don't understand. I'm like, I understand the other way. Maybe it's a weird power, you're a crazy person, but on you, it's extra crazy, and I don't even get it. Anyway, back to the taxidermy fish.
Okay, yes.
So
I love it when you guys are on our show.
in my relationship, I have made a lot of mistakes, financial mistakes, and I've agreed to lots of things that have, retrospect have been stupid, and I get yelled at all the time forever. By the way, that I get reminded about years later. For instance, the other day, Crystal, I was complaining about something. She's like, remember when you bought, what was that cable that I bought
Why
from
does she always do remember when?
Oh, it's right.
It's your favorite thing
He's
to
the
do.
only guy I know that is fighting arguments from 12 years ago
Yeah.
with his wife. She'll be like, remember when you got AT&T Uverse?
Yes, it was
And we had the worst internet of... Was that right?
Yes, it was that.
See, I
It's
only
like,
remember bad things,
Remember
Sam.
when you bought Uverse from that lady with dreads, the 20-year-old girl with dreads.
Just because she knocked on the door.
Yes, yeah,
No,
yeah.
Tom said she looked like Lisa Bonet, and she had a big mouth, and he got sexy for her.
Anyway, so with the taxidermy, it had to have been more one person's fault than the other. For
Why
instance,
would you do that to them on a day when you know they're already arguing?
no, I'm just asking because
I'm gonna say this is a full-on Jason gaff.
I want to find out if
Fish pun intended
if
with the gaff.
they're, because it was it Jason that agreed for the taxidermy? Was he the one that was scammed into it by the
course it
captain,
was.
or
Of
was
course
it
it was.
Jana that was more positive?
She's sweet.
So
She wants
most
the
of us-
memory.
I am typically the one that's going to get us into those situations.
Okay.
However, we like to spend a lot of time together. Like there's nothing I can think of that we don't like to do together, except for I don't really like doing puzzles.
That is so weird. Okay.
They don't, but they're not going to cost us any money either, right?
Yeah.
Well, they cost a little bit.
I mean, but we're doing them in the living room or in the car.
Oh,
and
you're
Right.
making
a couple
Tom mad
pieces
because he ain't doing no puzzles.
That's why I hate puzzles.
Yeah, if you think you ate puzzles, I know a guy.
Yeah.
Wait, just so you know, though, we have a room and our ceiling is being covered with puzzles, and it looks really
I mean,
cool.
we've done a lot of puzzles.
Hold on. What do you mean?
Oh my God, you guys are becoming Willy Wonka. You got a puzzle room. You know what? And I mean this with love, but you both do make me sick. You absolutely.
Oh, you can outfit your wheelchair with foam machine shooting glitter like the goddamn Willy Wonka drunk or whatever. That
Hello, welcome to my
is
clubhouse.
it farting foam on you? Jana Wonka.
You guys are so fun, man. Like I would never,
you.
I would never
Willy
think to
banana.
cover. I would never think to cover my ceiling in puzzles.
Are you covering?
You know
it?
what you could be?
Are
You know
Are
what
they
you could be?
finished
You-
puzzles or just
You're
the
slipping.
pieces?
It's Willy
Yeah, so
Wonka.
Oh yeah. God damn.
we had,
I am
uh,
slipping. My God.
Every puzzle we finish, we glue.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a friend actually deliver us a puzzle that was a very nice, thick wooden puzzle.
I
And
like
it
a
had all
thick
these
puzzle.
pieces. It was like a 3D type puzzle.
Yeah.
And we finished it, and our policy is that when we finish the puzzle, we glue it together.
and then she asked for it back.
Yeah.
Oh!
2 weeks later, we're like,
What?
hey, when we get a puzzle, we do it and we finish it. Like it's done. So you could have called back 2 days later and asked if we had finished.
Who loans out puzzles? What kind of cheapskate a-hole?
Yeah.
Sorry if
Well,
that's
we
your
looked
best
it up
friend.
and it was like a $45 puzzle. So
I'm
it's
like,
What?
But who drops off a puzzle and
Yeah.
then says, "Hey, I'm going to come get my puzzle back"? I'm
Butler
like, what
sounds
the
like he would
fuck?
do that. Butler
By the
was,
way-
I dropped off a few of my puzzles. I'm going to need those back and don't lose any pieces.
By the way, if you try to give me a puzzle, I'll be like, get the hell out of here with that goddamn puzzle. I don't want that S. I will yell at you. I'll
I know
yell
what
in your
I'm gonna
face.
get you for Christmas.
No, if you give me any
Awesome.
puzzle, I'll punt that right in the
I'll
trash.
cancel the Tom and Dan puzzle merge
Yeah.
piece. I
Oh,
was
thank
trying
you.
to get
Chopped
us.
up cardboard. Great. What I always wanted.
Janet and Jason will no longer be on a monthly segment.
So
Oh,
hold
what?
on.
Did you guys buy us a puzzle?
So you do a puzzle and then you shellac it, and then what do you do? Put
They
it.
glue it to their ceiling.
Well, no, but before that, did you just like put them on top of each other like magazine in a order house?
Yeah, we Mod
Yeah.
Podge them. We have so many puzzles that I'm like, what are we going to do with
You
all
have to
these?
put wax paper between them. Just
Like, there's so many.
You know
We
that's
gotta
insane,
start,
right? That's it. That's
We got to
insane.
start covering the ceiling.
And you know what's really insane is that you put wax paper between them to keep them from sticking. That's insane. And also the fact that you have so many and Jason hates it. That's really insane.
So you're
That means you're a
Hey,
good husband, man.
so
you're a good partner.
You're
to do some
gluing
things
them.
like that.
You're gluing them to your ceiling.
Yeah, so we're putting them on the ceiling just because it just looks cool.
No, and you should say people. When
You
people
have
ask
to
you
do
why would you
puzzles
do
with
that,
your
you
life.
say because when I look out into the universe, I see an infinite amount of puzzles I want to solve.
Yeah.
There
Well,
you go.
I mean, it is a lot deeper than that. It was the way I came out of my depression because the only thing that would get me out of bed was doing a puzzle. And the reason was because it was keeping my hands busy. And then while my hands were busy, it allowed my mind to start thinking. And when my mind started thinking, then that turned into using my imagination and envisioning what I wanted my future to look like. And that turned into somewhat of a prayer in some sort of way. So I say that my puzzles is my way that I learned how to communicate with the universe.
It's
my way of
meditation.
finding God.
It's
form of
100% meditation, man. Like it is.
Yeah.
That's what I do with my plants and weed.
Yeah.
So I'm just
Yeah.
standing out in my backyard high,
yeah.
and I water my plants
That's-
and mess around with them, and then I think of business ideas.
That's what I do
Yes.
with.
That's it.
That's
Yeah,
what I
that's
do
exactly
with
what happened.
Pornhub,
And then-
X
and then I
videos,
also
XNXX, tube vids.
And then I also
tube.
found
Red
that
tube.
every
Oh,
puzzle that I did, I really started learning about life. Like every puzzle piece, it's not about looking at the puzzle piece, it's about looking at the empty space and what is it that we're not seeing in life. And then I started realizing, you know what? We're in life, you start with a frame and then you start chunking out the different colors of pieces, and then you start I have a whole system, and I have trays, and I actually have named each piece. So we've got the male pieces, the female pieces, we've got the shoes, we've got the
That's
I've got
cool, man.
Jason has like an exact system, and if somebody comes in and starts touching my puzzle pieces while I'm in the middle of a puzzle,
Yeah, well,
what
no
happens,
means no.
Jason?
I mean, in this day and age, you can't be just grabbing people's puzzle pieces. You just
Me Too
can't.
movement right there.
Yeah, especially the female ones. You can grab them by the
Don't
puzzle.
touch my shoe pieces.
I don't care how famous you are.
So anyway, it's been a thing about life. And then the weirdest thing started happening. As I started writing my book, I started finding puzzle pieces in the weirdest places, and it was almost like the synchronicities were just a little bit canny. and
I have a puzzle
bizarre.
piece in my butt.
I thought about the same thing, but I was going to say,
Well, that's why I'm here. They call me low-hanging fruit daddy. I'm short. I'm down here near all the low-hanging fruit. I'm just punching
Well,
those plums.
I mean, we got to end because we're way too long. I think I bitched it way too
Yeah,
way
you
too
did.
much.
You
Sorry.
playing too much.
A
Sorry.
solid 20 minutes on
But-
why can't comedians have good internet.
But it's good to end there because I do understand like having something. Is it kind of like
It's calming.
It's calming, mindless to do, allows your mind to
Yes.
figure out your problems.
Yes.
And it's the opposite. And we can end on this, Jenna. Tell me if you feel this way. And it's not that your mind stops working. It's actually the exact opposite. It's that those chaos, like for me, I can only speak for me, but the chaos, I always
Yeah.
talk about it's like a highway in my brain. If I can kind of lean into it and just not get in, if you get in traffic, you're going to get run over, right? That's
Yeah,
how
yeah.
roads work. But if you just kind of let it be, it will start to settle. And the puzzle thing, I might actually steal that idea and grab a
Yes.
one with me and May to do, because I can see she's got some of my anxiety, and I need to find a way for her to get that almost like not
slow it
boredom,
down.
but just it's almost like activating your mind without having to do something athletic or flip or do a cartwheel. It's like it's just thinking,
Yeah,
critical
yeah.
thinking.
It's thinking. And it's also a way for me to communicate with my soul.
Yeah.
I feel like my whole life I've been communicating with audiences, and it was a way for me to communicate with me
Yeah.
and my higher source.
Well,
love
guys,
that.
plug your social media and also how people can listen to you on Clubhouse and everything.
JanaShelfer.com. We try to keep that as our hub, and we're constantly changing up things. So JanaShelfer.com. Join us. We would love to have you as part of our community, and thank you guys so much
Oh,
because
man.
it is really a pleasure to be here, and we just want to be like you.
Oh
so
man,
thank you
well,
guys.
you don't want to be like us.
No,
but,
no.
but you certainly don't want to do that.
Yeah, we don't do any puzzles, nothing. We're mad
This
here.
is a good enough time. My marriage is crumbling. It is bad.
Yeah. I
It's,
saw his wife
yeah,
earlier.
yeah. I have been
She looks stressed.
Joined
stressed.
marriage counselor.
Yeah.
And she goes
Yeah.
to the car wash an awful lot, and
Yeah.
I think he's there, and I am going to
Daniel-
mince words with this man.
Daniel's daughter looked like she should be running the streets of Brazil with dreadlocks and
Yeah.
AK. All right,
I
guys.
can't wait to check out the slime and the,
Oh, it's fun.
the Nickelodeon podcast that you guys did. 'cause
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want to hear all about that.
Yeah, you'll definitely hear it, guys. We love you. Take care of yourselves, and we'll talk to you in a month or so.
Bye. Thank you.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
I love
right.
those guys.
We'll be back. Bye-bye.
Gonna jump into some of your voicemail messages now. If you want to leave us a voicemail message, super easy to do. You can call this number, 1-844-TOMNDAN. That's 1-844-866
6326.
6326. I don't understand why the 6326. Well, you guys know I have a terrible memory.
Yeah.
I might as well be little Danny Dory because I have Dory's memory.
I can't commit it to memory for whatever reason since we got that number.
Well, it's like, here's where I think I can't remember it, is because we bought the vanity number.
Yeah.
So when you buy the vanity number, my mind said, well, there's a vanity number. They'll do the work now. Not me.
Yeah.
Why should I translate the vanity number that I bought for you to do the work?
The whole point of the vanity number is not to
Yes,
mention the regular
it's for
number.
you to do the work, to
Yeah.
go like,
Yeah.
oh, 1-844-T, okay, OMNDAN. I got it wrong. I'll start over. Because that's what everybody does when you do those, right? You go too fast and you mess it up. Let's jump into our ACT voicemails. Man, hottest topic we've ever had on the show. More voicemails,
Oh, no.
more emails than anything we've ever had. We've had a lot of controversies on this show. This is a big one.
Tom, Dan, Sam, and more specifically, Butler. It's Canadian Josh, and I'm weighing in on the calamari debate. No, Butler, calamari is not a kid's food. None of my kids ever ate calamari. I used to wait tables. Kids never ordered
You're in
calamari.
Canada, though.
And I have a few live
tougher up there, though.
testimonials here. I have here with me Little Cheese. Little Cheese,
Little Cheese.
is calamari a kid's food?
Absolutely not.
Thank you very much.
He sounds like
Hold
a grown
on a
man.
sec.
Hold on. I don't know.
Absolutely not. I only eat nails
Little cheese. That's big cheese.
Yeah, and he's Canadian kids are
God.
built tougher.
They are.
But also,
They come out with like flannel hats on.
I hate to be on Butler's side with this, but I did put up, I think someone on the BDM page.
I think it was Melissa, that's been doing the videos for us.
Melissa put it up, and it was half and half.
Yeah, it was.
And then I
It
asked.
sounded pretty close to the sit-stand debate.
But I also wonder if it's all people from Florida. Because if you're like in the Midwest or something, your kids aren't eating calamari.
And then I asked my friends,
No.
and out of all my
No,
friends,
Coastal thing, right?
No availability.
my friend, now I'm starting to think it's because my firefighter friend Porno Joe, his wife responded back, my kids love calamari. And and I was over his house over the weekend, but my other friends were like, oh no, it's all chicken nugget, mac and cheese.
mac and cheese.
But they were like, oh no, they love calamari. And then on the BDM page, there was a bunch of people like, oh, my kids eat calamari. So it wasn't as much of a landslide of like, hell, what are you talking about?
Okay.
There's a little bit of truth
There
to
is,
this.
but there's truth to this. But
Tom,
hold
Dan,
on.
he's
After
back.
a while, these things will just start themselves. There is a problem here that I want to know if you believe. The problem here that's skewing our testimonials is like the sit-stand debate that we had about how you wipe. That's like something that people like normally don't talk about. They don't want to talk about it, right? Like either way, it's like an even playing field. Either way, it's something sort of naughty, right?
Yeah.
The calamari thing, I think there is a select group of parents that get off a little bit
On
on
their
telling people that their kids
Or
love
adventures,
calamari
yeah.
because, and I think it's human nature to go through this type of feeling. I've done it myself where I'm like, look, Maisie's eating sushi. It's like,
Yeah.
she don't like it. She don't know what she's eating.
Yeah.
If your kid is adventurous when it comes to eating, it means you're a better parent.
Yes.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Or
But
at
then-
least that's what you justify in your
But
head
yeah,
when you
yeah,
tell
yeah.
people your kids
Oh, I
eat.
see. If your kid eats all like eating squid is all like, I'm better than me.
Yeah.
But my kid eats nothing.
But
It's
people-
bland. Max won't even have ketchup.
Well, people think that.
Oh, man.
My God, that's rough.
And then that is a personal indictment to me and
Well,
being
ketchup's overrated.
a P
I
word
love
dad.
ketchup.
Does he like any kind of condiment?
No, he hates all sauces.
Oh,
Wow.
he's British then. Butler
Yeah.
hates all sauces. Butler likes just bread, a little bit of butter, and a little bit of meat, dry, stale bread sandwich.
I have no idea. Tommy eats all sauces, but Max likes none. Who knows?
Interesting.
Personal taste, whatever. But it is when the parents that have the kids that are adventurous and will order like adult
But I
food.
hate that. There's a part of me that hates that too, where they're like, "Oh my God, she only eats sashimi.
yeah,
I just can't get the raw tuna out of her mouth."
She won't even eat a Happy
Oh
Meal.
my God!
Yeah.
I took her to McDonald's once and got her a large fry and a Diet Coke because I heard Daniel get that for his daughter, and he turned his nose up at it. He must be a natural health addict. Get out of here with that.
There is
Get out of here with that.
Yeah, you're bragging that your kid. You're bragging that you're a better parent.
And
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
also saying that everybody does it because I know I've done it too. Because I think it's just a human characteristic to want to showcase the things that you feel like you're doing right.
yeah.
And there's really nothing wrong with that, but
also,
I hate it too.
I'm taking the accomplishment away from the parents with everything here because my kids are pretty well behaved. And I'm virtually certain it had nothing to do with me and Crystal because we don't know what the hell we're doing, and I don't think we've done that good of a job.
I would agree with that.
So there's look at it, look at me. How could I have done it?
Look at me,
I
look at
can't.
me. How could I be a good
Yeah,
parent?
there's just like this is a random accident. You know what I'm saying? This guy can't do a good job.
No, but I think naturally you're an intelligent person, and both of you are. And I think sometimes the intelligent went to both your boys. They're both smart kids, and there you go.
Pure luck.
Also, Tommy's a rule follower, and Max kind of is a ride or die for Tom.
Yeah. Pure luck. Yeah.
It works out good, yeah. 'cause
But I'll
Tommy-
take credit for it. Look how good they look
gotta
at them
tell you
just
right
sit
now.
there.
You know, you say that, and I find it to be the opposite within the studio, which is really only the time I ever see y'all's kids.
Yeah.
Maisie's always quiet, shy.
She is
Your
very
kids
shy.
are screaming around, knocking on the fish tank,
They're comfortable
breaking
here.
toys of Butlers,
He
Yeah,
takes them
yeah.
here
Well,
to
I
hide
tell
out
him
from
that.
the old crow.
eating the alcoholic candies.
He's been telling the crow that this is their clubhouse. They all come here to hang out and have beers.
Yeah, I also I want them to be impressed by me. I'm like, Daddy's the boss. Do whatever you want. Trash their desks.
There it is.
and then because I'm like, oh yeah, they think I'm the boss.
Also, I yell at Maisie every single day to the point of severe.
now she's scared.
Oh, it's like
Yeah.
mental abuse at this point. He continues a little bit more here.
Okay.
Very much. And Little Cheese's mom, Canadian Angie, is calamari a kid's food?
No.
Butler,
I
you're
know.
wrong.
I know.
I'll hang up
I
and
like
listen.
Canadian
I
Angie.
know.
Can we talk to her?
We can. In
Listen,
fact,
I want to agree with you, Canadian Josh, and I wanted to bet high on it because I was like, what are you talking about? But
I got
from the
another one.
BDMs and the one friend that I talked to, that it is a thing. I just don't know how popular it is. Like, it wasn't 50-50 like Butler was saying, but there's a good amount of
And I
kids
also
that
think,
eat it.
again, I do think it is regional.
Yeah.
A lot of our BDMs are in Florida, so I think if you have more access to it.
I think it's somebody said this in the chat room, and it's a little controversial, but I think it's socioeconomic too.
Yeah, I didn't know what calamari was until I was a teenager.
Yeah,
I never even heard of it.
I think a lot of people don't. Like for me as a kid, I know it's not fancy to other people, but like going to Down the Hatch in New Smyrna or Ponce
we didn't
Inlet
go to restaurants when I was a kid.
and getting to go to a seafood dinner. The reason I make the joke is, I mean, that was like in our family. I mean, that might as well have been
that's
going.
fancy pants.
That was like going to the White House to meet Ronald Reagan or something. You know, like it was like a very big deal.
And I remember, like, I used to eat shrimp and lobster and all seafood and, like, even escargot. That was, like, they would
Hell
just
no.
give me all that
Just
stuff.
butter.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
It's what your parents buy you.
Yeah, my grandma used to buy it, and they're like, "Look, and eat escargot." Like, I'd just eat anything they'd give to me.
That's how you got them buds when you were 12.
but that's personality. But even like when I was Max and Tommy's age, like some kids will just try anything.
Yeah.
Some kids won't.
Yeah, I've gotten Maisie to the point where I can get her to try it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, just try it. And she'll take a bite, and I'll be like, and she'll be like, I hate it. I'm like, all right, well, at least you tried it.
And by the way, that whole I don't let my kid leave the dinner table unless they clean their whole
You
plate
can't,
thing.
that's
I'm like,
don't
I'm
do
gonna
that.
call BS on that. I've never.
She sat there until 3 a.m.
Yeah. I've never actually seen it with my own eyes or even had
It's
a
also-
second-hand experience with it.
It's another fun thing that
Urban
people like
legend.
to say
Yeah.
in order to tell you that they're a better parent than you.
The parent wars.
I just gotta keep
No,
my
it
mouth
is
shut.
there.
I'm not a good parent.
I'm
That's
like-
why I get on this radio show. Do you know?
You
and
let them. You make them sit there for how long? Like, how long?
I let my daughter drink a full-size Diet Mountain Dew before we got on the plane. A full size.
Ooh, before the plane?
The same one I drink.
yeah.
The same one I drink. She's. I'm getting her
Too much caffeine,
I'm getting her
right?
a concealed weapons permit. I'm doing all kinds of fun stuff. Let's calamari again, buddy.
Tom Van, listen up. I heard you talking on the calamari for kids
episode, you're talking about getting rid of your sandals because your little feet hurt. Pussy.
I'm swerving on this one a little bit because it's okay.
Little feet hurt. Pussy hurt. It's time. I suffer from the same issue. My cracks became so deep they had become crevasses. You could see bone. You could almost see bone through my feet, or through my, back of my heels.
Oh my God.
It was embarrassing. People made fun of me. People used to wince when they'd look at my feet. It's time. You're not going to want to do this, and I didn't want to do this, but I did the only thing that you can do to not completely get rid of sandals, but you're in a quasi-hybrid version of sandals, and I think you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, we do.
I didn't want to do it. My wife talked me into it, and it actually solved my problem.
Spit it out.
My wife dragged me to good old Bell's Outlet.
Yes, my favorite.
Regular Bell's. I don't remember. I don't know what
God.
bitch. Got me a set of Crocs.
No.
Not Croc flip-flops, not Croc boat shoes, and I am a boatman as well. I've got your standard Crocs with the strap that goes forward and back.
And the nubbins?
You're going to want to keep it in four-wheel drive. You got to keep it back.
Yeah, this
We
guy's a great. I love
suggested
this
Crocs
guy.
to him, and
I
he
love,
didn't like
No,
it.
I
of
know
course
that-
not. I don't want to be that.
Crocs are cool with kids right now.
I want a pair of Crocs.
The old teens are wearing the
all
Crocs.
the old teens are wearing the Crocs.
They're bedazzling them?
I'm
No.
getting a pair of novelty Crocs. I'm
Okay.
ordering some. This guy, I know he's a little slow, but I just think he has I love his demeanor. He's a good storyteller. Tom, we got to get you some Crocs.
No,
boy.
I don't
if I
want-
buy you a pair of novelty Crocs, I
No.
bet you'll wear them in your plant land
No,
while you're outside
I don't-
smoking your dubs
No.
and trimming your plants.
I don't want some nerd dad ass Crocs.
Dude, they are actually trendy right now.
Yeah. They don't stink. You can throw them in the pool.
Like,
you
as
can
much
wash
as I
them
hate
easy.
it, it's true. All the kids,
Indestructible.
Grifton Jess's son, and all of his teen
Yeah,
friends,
all the kids.
are rocking Crocs.
Yep. Rock the Crocs. Rock out with your Crocs out.
That's right.
Yeah, but it's not cool for an old man like a
But if you
39
get a
year
Who are you
old.
trying to
pair.
impress? You always say you don't care what people think about
Yeah.
you, but
I care
everything that
what-
comes out of your mouth is
Whoa.
about
What are you doing?
No, I care about turning into a dumb nerd old man.
No,
That's
you're
not
the wearing
happening.
Crocs.
You have all these
Yeah.
house plants.
You wear
You're a
bandanas
nerd.
for
You're a
Christ's sake.
nerd. You are a nerd.
Every picture of
That's
you,
for
you're wearing.
utility.
Every time I see you, you're wearing some strange
So are the Crocs.
Duck
I
Dynasty
know.
alt-right bandana, and you're running around in your
Just
backyard with
ease
a...
into it, man.
Dude, just get a pair of Crocs.
No,
he wants
I
to.
don't want to.
hear-
I
no,
don't
hear-
want
he
to.
He wants to. I little
You
bit
gotta.
want to.
now what's
Just do
hold
it.
on?
Have you ever put your foot in a
What's
pair?
the difference? Because
It's cushioning on the back, and you're not constantly getting that slap, and that slap
Yeah,
is
yeah.
giving you a crevasse.
no,
Yeah.
it's slapping the cracks into
It's-
my
yeah,
slapping
no,
the cracks.
I
You got
thought,
slappy cracks.
I thought the cracks were dried out like just being
a little
barefoot.
bit of everything.
Yeah, your daddy slap crack.
Yeah, like I feel like the Crocs aren't going to fix the cracks.
The Crocs will fix cracks.
Like you need socks and shoes to be able to fix the cracks. Like I'm
Bros
still gonna,
before hoes, Crocs before cracks is what I say.
Yeah, I don't know if the Crocs are going to do anything about the cracks, and then my feet hurting so bad. I guess the
Well, your feet hurting so bad, that's foot cancer.
Yeah.
but
Well,
it's,
you have these black tumors that are hanging off your heels. It's weird.
Maybe I'll just go full barefoot.
Why don't you do what a
That'll
lot
help.
of dads do? Why don't you go metal dad, where you wear black?
Get those barefoot toe shoes like I got.
No, I hate those two.
Wear
those are for ultra nerds.
like BDM Adam, the metalman. Wear black combat boots and
Yeah.
No, I don't want
Yeah.
and Hooters girl socks.
Get some Doc Martens.
Well,
Yeah,
no.
go straight boots and shorts so you can look like Silent Bob.
Yes.
I don't want to wear
Yeah.
shoes. They're too hot.
Do boot shorts, and you could be like that's a punk rocky look, right?
Yeah.
Okay, if I did do Crocs,
You see, I told you he's considering it. Yeah, we do.
do
You get novelty ones with your
no,
name on them. and
I
stuff.
don't want that.
You get Miami Dolphins.
I don't
Yeah.
want Miami
What do
Dolphins.
you got,
That's
Batman? What do you
that's
want?
the worst.
Avengers? You
No,
want
no.
Avengers?
Can I?
What would your
there's
sons
nothing-
want you to wear? Iron Man Crocs? What superhero
No,
do they
I don't
let
wanna-
you?
no.
What superhero do you pretend to be when they're being like? What is Max still Spider-Man?
Yeah, he's Spider-Man. I'm the big boss man. You know,
You're
the
a
villain.
Kingpin.
Kingpin.
The
yeah.
bald guy in the white suit.
Yeah.
You got to get some gibbets.
Gibbets. That's what they're called.
What is that?
Those are the shoe charms for Crocs.
Yeah, I knew there was a name. I
God.
kept calling them niblets, but that's corn.
Gibbets.
No, I'm
Some
not.
gibbets, bro.
I'm
Yeah,
not,
you get
I'm not
them-
doing any of
And
that.
then
I'm
you
not
let
buying
people
Crocs.
know what you're into by
No.
your
Yes.
gibbets. So you're walking around. I
Ooh,
look
I
down
found a
I'm
hot
like,
dog croc.
Yeah, I'm like,
No.
this guy's wearing hot dog Crocs with a couple of plant gibbets in
No.
it. He's a hot dog man. that
Yeah,
loves
you can
plants.
plant up your Crocs.
I'm not ready to completely give up yet. And I, God, because I feel like.
How about Allbirds? I wore those on the plane. You don't even have to wear socks with those.
I'm gonna make a second run at it coming up soon.
Second run at what?
At life, where I'm going. To, I'm gonna
Round 2 when I'm 39 years old.
What's happening?
Well, I'm gonna.
He's hitting the midpoint.
I'm gonna.
Oh, man.
Like around 43, 44, I'm gonna start dabbling in the tea. I already got the plan out.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna go hard into it around like 45, 46. That's when I'm gonna start injecting it. I'm gonna start off with the lotions.
How's Butler's been? Butler, get in here.
He's not doing any of the. He's doing the put the water. Remembers the medicine.
Oh, what do you got? Essential
Remember,
oil?
we're on ACT, Butler, so don't curse.
No, he's gonna curse.
Damn it, we only
Who
got
wants
2
to
minutes
bet?
left.
Okay, hold on. Let me get
There we go.
Let me
Yeah,
get
yeah.
How's your
Thank
tea,
you,
bro?
Butler.
Oh, my tea, it's nice.
No. He's doing
haven't you been
that.
rubbing
You need the
active,
full injection into the butt with the
No,
testosterone
he's been
medical
shooting himself
grade.
in the stomach with drugs.
Not yet. I'm getting there.
Yeah,
You didn't
no,
know
but-
this? You were on vacation. This guy started getting, his wife started giving
Rabies shots?
No, started
Yes.
giving him injections to stimulate his own testosterone so he can get rid of his humongous boobs.
Yeah.
What?
You know how to stimulate my
injections.
testosterone with pure testosterone? That's what I like.
I like that.
That's all I want. Yeah.
Oh,
And
all the beer I drank at Punta Cana this weekend, I looked in the mirror. I got Butler boobs.
so anyway,
I got them. Mine are bigger than yours.
Hard to lose, bro.
my plan is to be like a shredded old man with loose skin.
Oh, you'll be a shredded old man, just mentally shredded.
yeah. It'll start going that way too. But then
And then they'll be hanging out at Oasis on the river every weekend.
Yes,
yeah.
that's and then I can't be wearing Crocs in that sort of lifestyle.
I got an
gotta
in-
still be cool.
I got an insider.
What do you
at
mean?
The,
Oasis?
Oh, do ya?
at the Oasis Marina. And I'm getting all the intel.
We're we may or may not be having a side chicks event there.
Yeah, I got intel that.
How is
that
Busey's bikini
and
contest?
I might be riding shotgun in Supa's slingshot.
All right.
It might be two brothers out on the town. It's like, look, oh my God, it's two identical twins gonna tear this place crazy. I'm gonna get myself a backwards knuckle nap hat. I'm gonna hit it. No, that's a real thing. It's the only things I remember are dumb things. Only things I ever remember. I have no useful memories. I can barely remember my anniversary. I think it's in April.
Find the pictures of the Oasis bikini contest hosted by Busey. It's got to be on
I
social.
think it's next weekend.
Oh, it's next weekend?
It's next weekend.
I think so. Yeah.
Wait,
You
it's the
still, have you
19th.
still have time.
It's the 19th.
Yes, this week.
Oh,
Yeah.
this week
You
is
wanna
Father's
go?
Day.
You want to go?
I gotta go to some insurance convention.
You're not a nerd? You're not a nerd. Get the Crocs.
He's like, my heels are cracked. I gotta go to the insurance convention.
And then he used
It's
to make
not
fun of me
mine,
for
I
not
gotta-
going out. I'm chicken fighting with Mike Busey. There's
Yes.
naked girls everywhere. I'm high-fiving Super Dave. I do a backflip off the bar.
Thongers everywhere.
Oh, yeah. Butler's out there in his kayak. He's like, kayaking is cool. I promise. I promise, guys.
Oh, I confirmed kayaking sucks.
We'll
talk about that on
on
Friday's
Friday.
show.
Yeah, we got to get out of here.
All right, bye-bye.